Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Eye on Icon, the episode where we go around the no, Icongraph, I got that wrong, haven't I? This is different. Today's special.
No,
Very
slightly
special.
different.
Yes, it's the launch party. We are very excited today to be hosting this event. Thank you to the foundation for getting behind us and so many sponsors. I didn't even realize there would be so many teams interested in sponsoring the event, which was fantastic. And I think before we've just started and we already have 306, which is fantastic. Great start. I can go for how are you feeling. I'm suddenly feeling nervous, I must say, to everyone watching. Oh, looks
Well,
like we
it's the
lost half our crowd.
I think it's the first one. I think it's the first thing we've done live, so that's certainly a big upgrade. We're also at you're at a disadvantage. It's I'm at a cozy 7:30 in the morning with my coffee here, but you're so committed. You're up at 1:30 in the morning your time. So just everyone recognize the lengths that Fez is going to bring you all the hype here.
Yep. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I may be still sipping on my coffee, just to make sure I'm staying awake and excited. But I don't think I had trouble just going to sleep, taking a bit of a power nap. I couldn't fall asleep because I'm thinking I want to say this in the show, and I hope this goes well, and this goes well, and hopefully people actually turn up to listen to us. So, well, things are working out. Um, I can graph, I think, before we start. So, one of the things I want to throw out there to the entire community, we threw this thanks to our sponsors, IconBet, and they donated a fair bit of tap to give away for this event. So, Icongrapher, you went a bit crazy, click crazy, where you're like, you know what? Let's give away 25,000 tap to just everyone promoting this event. So we thought, let's start today with announcing the winner. So, Icongraph, I believe you just ran the draw just before we
Yep,
started.
yep.
Who have
We
we
had
got?
and then for yeah, so you had to retweet the tweet that I put up, and or I guess that Ion Icon put up, and you had to be following the account. So we had 506 retweets or something like that. So definitely got a lot of the word got spread. I think that's why we have so many people on right now. But the ultimate winner was their name is Fredoto.1. Their Twitter handle is Ville Crypto or Vile Crypto, something like that. So congratulations to them. We will one of us will DM you, or if you want to DM one of us, and we'll all get all arranged and get your wallet address and send you that tap.
Yep. Definitely DM one of us. Congratulations. First winner off the draw. There is going to be right through this stream that we at the moment have clocked in for 2.5 hours. We will be giving away a ton of stuff. We're talking NFTs, more tap. What else have we got from our sponsors? There's just a whole bunch of stuff. So, in fact, if anything, one thing I want to throw out there to our audience, if it's been a while and you've noticed no giveaway, start chanting giveaway in the chat so that it's straight away we're like, oh crap, pause the show, let's give away some stuff. So that is everyone's job on the show today. So great. Okay, so first up, we also one of the things I can go for, we better tell everyone since we have now 423 people watching. We have quite the show for everyone today. So we have got everyone from the foundation coming on board, including the new marketing team that has recently joined the foundation. And they will be making a surprise appearance and dropping a bit of alpha on their front as well, which I'm quite excited to share with everyone. After that, if everything is on time and Icon 2.0 kicks off, well, it's meant to kick off. What's the time? It's 1:30 a.m. for me, so it's meant to be kicking off at 3 in the morning for me. So an hour and a half from now, if everything goes well. Uh, when that happens, we will have a celebration hour, and the celebration hour is going to be literally 10 minutes of different teams coming on the live stream, sharing their excitement, hopefully dropping some alpha about each of their projects, what they have lined up post Icon 2.0. Is there anything new they're working on? I'm not guaranteeing there's always going to be exciting news like that, but hopefully the teams jump on and share some information. We'll all have a quick powwow and then they'll start rolling off. We've even got some community members jumping on later in the show, ones you've heard from before, so really excited to have them. and we'll then close off the show post the celebration hour. But right to the end, we're going to have some great teams joining and dropping some news on projects that got going on in the Icon ecosystem. But first up, in half an hour, we will have Min joining us, and then following him, we'll have Ricky coming on as well, and they'll both be on together, and we'll have a chat about everything that is Icon 2.0, and maybe chat a little bit about ICE as well. And in case I just want to really clear this up. That question of when airdrop, you're not gonna get that answer today. I don't want to disappoint you, and I don't want to leave you hanging about this bit of news. So we're not addressing the ICE airdrop, but we are going to talk about ICE as well and what it means for the Icon ecosystem. Yeah. Have I left anything off, Iconographer?
No, I think you got the most out of it. Pretty good lay of the land there.
Excellent. That's great. Now, as this is also our first live stream and my first live stream as well. I just want to make sure I'm seeing the comments. I was hoping to see a bit of the chat and banter going on, but it's not. It doesn't show it in this way. That's okay. Let's. I think we've got our first couple of guests around.
We do have some breaking news here from the Icon Foundation. Just tweeted out the network proposal has been approved. So that was the one. I don't know what to say, hang up, because I think it was live for about 10 minutes, but the proposal to officially move over to Icon 2.0 just got approved by the sufficient number of P-reps. So good job P-reps being on the ball on that.
Excellent. So then everything looks like it's on track, which is great. Okay. Cool. So I think on that, should we pull up our first guest? So we first have Geo and Polo, and hopefully TJ coming on board soon, along with them Radio Friendly. Now, as you know, from an Iron Icon perspective, some of our first sponsors were Icon Bet. They picked up on the show and reached out and said, "Hey guys, we want to sponsor you. Kudos on the great work you're doing. So thank you." And then we have on Nation join the fun and say, "Yeah, we also commend y'all. Great work. Here's a bit. We want to be sponsoring y'all and keep up the great work." I thought, let's get them on board. They've been doing a ton of stuff in the ecosystem, and let's have a chat and thank them for supporting the show. And here we go. Okay. Hey, Geo.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Great. So I see you do the low-hanging fruit first, so you can get it out and over with, and then you can get on the better stuff, right?
That's just not true.
See, no one's awake yet. You're like, well, we'll toss in Geo when no one's awake, so we can talk about gas stations and all that kind of stuff, and then we'll get the other guys, the important stuff, handled when everyone gets up.
Yeah, you guessed it. Damn it. You got onto gas stations so quick. You didn't even have 30 seconds in and you're talking gas stations. In case everyone didn't know, so Geo is, he works on, the guys work on Icon Bet, but he's also involved in IAM. He's also, Pixels is another project he's working on. And let's not forget, what's the car racing game called again, Geo?
Supernode Racing.
Supernode. I'm playing with you, man. I just want to have
some
fun.
Which is the first. I believe it's the first project officially announced as being built on ICE, if I have my memory correct.
And funded through the CPS system, which we want to encourage. Hey, if you want to build stuff for ICE, you can already start doing that. It's just an EVM. Just target like a parachain, in testnet. I believe we're even just building on an Ethereum testnet. Because you can it's all quick, and you make your own funds and that kind of stuff, and then you can just port it over to ICE once ICE gets released. They're trying to make it really simple for developers that have built Ethereum based projects to be able to port their stuff over to ICE. So I mean, CPS, it's for all of Icon, all of the ecosystem, which includes ICE as well. So if you guys have some Ethereum based projects you want to get funded, we highly suggest putting them up on the CPS and trying to get them through that way.
Well, that's interesting to hear that it's been that easy for you. I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense. If it's an EVM compatible chain, you'd be able to, on an EVM compatible testnet, that you'd be able to make it work. So that's good to hear, and hopefully there's others who have some initial momentum there and are getting moving early as well.
Yeah, and then here's some info. We'll drop the info early. The plan is, I know a lot of people have been waiting for, poker and sportsbook and all this kind of stuff. Everyone asks about it all the time. And part of the reason why sportsbook hasn't come out yet is, and it's an unfortunate thing based on timing and other things, but really it's because we wanted to target ICE. So the plan is to bring sportsbook out on the ICE network and have it as a big promotion kind of thing, sportsbook on ICE, all that kind of stuff, to not only help Icon and ICE in general and whatnot, but to get more hype as we call it.
Okay, well, look, what are we clocked in at? We're 10 minutes 55, and first bit of alpha just dropped. Gio, I did not know that. That was a well-guarded secret. Awesome. I was going to hit you up on here. I thought, with 500 people watching, I could put a bit of pressure on you to, really come out with some inside news, and this is great. Okay, so
yeah, I was kind of holding on to that one for a while. We're in talks right now with the team to develop it for the ICE network, and obviously I'm in constant communication with the ICE network developers themselves, and they are amazing, and their number one goal is to make it good for the developers, because that's what they want. They want as many developers to come onto the ICE network. They want to make it easy, fast, reliable, and have all the documentation necessary for importing existing dApps and also building new dApps, which should be pretty simple if you know Solidity and you know how to program for Ethereum.
So and that'll see. Do you think? Well, I guess not to put timelines on it, but I think if that's something that's going to kind of launch around when ICE launches, especially based on your guys' kind of liquidity model, which I assume you're mostly still using, that should be a pretty nice little instant boost on a lot of liquidity moving over to ICE, because we'll actually have a place to go for those who want to provide liquidity to that kind of they can kind of be the house as far as the sports spec is concerned.
Correct, and
actually, you guys are keeping that model.
Correct, and actually, my number one goal with ICE, unfortunately, I didn't come into I was originally an ICO on Icon, but I didn't really come into the network or programming it or working on it until 2019. But for ICE, I want to be there before it starts and when it starts. And one of my main goals for ICE is to have utility when it launches. We can't have a new chain and not have utility for the ICE.
Yep, makes total sense. And then, and so, meanwhile, I know poker is the other one that people are anticipating as well. That one is the current plan that one's going to be still on Icon itself. I guess.
Yes, that is the current plan.
Icon.
It's currently in testing, and more internal testing, but we do have a lot of the Icon Bet people who play on Icon Bet, who support Icon Bet, testing it out, and we appreciate all that, and we encourage them to continue testing so we can find all the bugs. We are going to be starting to integrate the actual blockchain, Icon blockchain, with poker here coming up in this next couple weeks. We're hoping to have an actual test of the testnet on Sejong for it working with the blockchain as well, which is obviously a big step. But I'll reveal some stuff, not alpha stuff, but one of the hurdles with poker is obviously we want to reach as many people as we can, and obviously mobile is a big aspect of that. So right now our kind of focus is on how to make it best for mobile. And one, we can't really have a native app, especially on iOS on Apple, because they don't like blockchain applications. And so we're working with WebGL and trying to make it the best we can with WebGL. That way you can play poker through the browser. You just open up a mobile browser, you sign in with your account, and you can play it from your mobile phone at that point. So we don't want to have it where we have to like some back way Hackintosh kind of way around Apple's restrictions against crypto applications and stuff like that. We hope in the near future maybe Apple will be more crypto friendly, but at this current point they're very strict on crypto applications. So we're trying our best to make it work the best without being a native downloadable application, and we'll just run straight from the browsers.
Awesome. Okay, that's great. And there we go. No, Gio, seriously, sorry. Can I just pause? I feel like I'm jumping over everything you've just dropped. That's great. The chat, the YouTube chat I've got on the other side, it's going nuts. There's a lot of languages I just don't understand. But coming back to you, that's great news. So we had, and I really liked what you said. I think you covered this off brilliantly. Whole shifting to ICE and ensuring that basically when ICE launches, it's not launching and there's nothing on it. We've already pivoted a few of the projects that were Icon into ICE. That way, Icon chain can focus on one thing, which is BTP, and focus on that. And yeah, we've got cool things coming to ICE on the day that it actually launches, which we don't know yet and may not find out on this stream, but that's pretty cool. Thank you, Gio. And we also have, so Polo, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. And TJ, many of you will know TJ. He is always on the Icon Discord, built it out, and created quite a thriving community there. And Polo, well, he's another regular of the show. How are you, Polo?
Good, Fez. How are you doing?
Good, man. Good. TJ?
So I was a little bit late to the show, but I'm sure Gio filled up all the time.
Yeah, that was my point. I'm happy to be here, but always happy to listen to Gio David talk as well. He loves to talk.
Well, he bought the news. Now, TJ, you can have the stage if you got more news to drop and share with everyone.
Yeah, no, terrible. Of course. Yeah, so obviously Geodude was talking a lot about Supernode Racing, which he did mention was sponsored through the CPS. So CPS is kind of the main product that I manage for Icon right now. And for people that don't know, that's our contribution proposal system, which is essentially just a decentralized grant system. The treasury funds are held in a smart contract, and PREPs or participating PREPs vote on whether a proposal should be approved or denied for this funding. So yeah, like, I don't know, Fez, if you want me to quickly talk about CPS or how we want to go about this, but
I think it's perfect because I'm assuming there are going to be some new people listening in, and if they're not quite aware, Gio's mentioned and stuff, maybe give a quick breakdown of what CPS is and how it's going to be evolving with Icon 2.0.
Yeah, so kind of building off what I initially said about it, I think basically anyone in the ecosystem or outside the ecosystem can create a proposal for funding. Obviously, you have a better chance of receiving this funding if it obviously relates to Icon or benefits Icon or ICE in any way. But yeah, so I'll give a quick bit of stats and then we can talk about what's going to come with 2.0. So right now there's 13 active projects in the CPS, one of those being Supernode Racing that's being built out. And then we've also completed 17 projects through the CPS. So an example would be like Gangsta Bet, which is a popular NFT project in the community. And then so I did the addition last night, and there's been around 550,000 ICX given out over, I think, the course of like 6 months that the CPS has been live. So at basically today's prices, that's about $1.2 million. So and it's still like pretty early stages for the CPS. So I would say that those statistics are pretty good. And then like right now, new proposals for the CPS are actually paused. And the reasoning behind that is we're kind of waiting to introduce these new upgrades for the CPS, but we're waiting until 2.0 to get those contracts audited. So after today, once 2.0 is live, we'll have these smart contracts audited, and then the upgrades that we'll see is the stablecoin treasury, which is kind of the main upgrade, which I can talk about a bit more. But essentially, projects will be receiving funding in BNUSD, which is stablecoin. So that reduces the volatility of grant payments that these projects will receive. But we're also adding email notifications for PREPs, increasing the max proposal length, have a dynamic penalty fee, and PREPs will be able to change their vote once per proposal now. And then the main last thing is we've been working a lot on a new design for the landing page of the CPS to make it a bit more like pitch oriented towards getting new projects and developers into the ecosystem. So I could probably post a teaser about that on Twitter or something, but those are kind of like the main things to expect once 2.0 is live. And then we're also working on just improving the overall user experience on the dashboard, adding more tutorials and guides, and then looking to incentivize some PREPs as well to get them more involved with the CPS.
Yeah, that's an awesome summary, and everyone who's listening should know now exactly what CPS is. And I know what's really cool about it, and Gio, as you kind of called out, we see a lot of grants. People are trying to track devs right across all the ecosystems. They're just throwing money left, right, and center, and insane amounts of money. But one thing, Gio, I liked how you called out. You actually were digging into these grants, how much of the 800 million, and what did you find? That there were severe limitations on how much teams would get paid out as part of the grants. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, so always look for the fine print was what I have to say about anything. And I mean, it includes CPS as well. There is some fine print, such as like the way it works, which took me by surprise, but it kind of makes sense. Like once you get approved for a grant on the CPS system, you have to wait for an entire month, the 2-week voting, 2-week, for the next one before you get your first funding, which, as a normal business, it's kind of like, well, I need to, for a normal online, like in terms of like paying out workers, sometimes they negotiate, hey, I need, X amount up front and then X amount when it's completed kind of stuff. So you kind of have to think about more of like a real business where, people don't get paid for, the first 2 weeks of working. Well, this is the first month of working kind of thing. But once you get it, set in a timeline, you can continue on building and stuff like that. But it's kind of, you got to have it in your mind, hey, you're not going to get instant funding from the CPS system. And part of that, I'm working with TJ as well to say, hey, why don't we bump up the sponsorship to be, in other words, to cover the first payment. So if anyone runs away with the first payment, then it's just collected from the sponsor. So that way, it's like, hey, if you need to pay up front, have the sponsor cover the first payment in a sense. And then, if they continue on, great. And if they don't, well, at least you have that amount covered. But there's things like that. It's just like, again, it's stuff that needs to be documented better, because it kind of took me by surprise. But I figured it out and we worked with it. But the fine print on these other ones is like, I literally looked at the, I forget what chain we were talking about that said like 800 million or something, but really it was 250 million over 4 years. And then they said, oh yeah, we fund $3,000, $5,000, and $10,000. And I was like, that's like not even enough to do a small project in most cases. So I was like, clearly they either are funding like their elite groups in the back end with more money and just doing small projects for the public groups, or something's off with the way they're doing their funding. Because it does say like, oh, funded, $8 million in X amount of years, type of thing, where, CPS has done, I think TJ said $1 million already. So it's like, really look into the fine print. Don't just assume because someone says, oh yeah, we're giving away $800 million in developer funding that they're actually going to give you $1 million to do a project.
Yeah, and I mean with that too, like one unique thing about the CPS that I don't even know if any other blockchains are doing right now is that it is decentralized. So while there is still a chance for it to be biased or political, it's a lot less centralized than a specific foundation giving these grants. And I think that's a position that Icon is trying to get towards in the future, is to become like completely decentralized and away from any centralized grant funding or whatnot. So I mean, there's plenty of plans for the future, but I think like CPS has the opportunity to be essentially a decentralized growth engine for the Icon ecosystem. So whether that's funding the application layer for new projects, possibly introducing incentives for existing projects, or even finding a way to use some of the CPS funds to bolster BTP in our ecosystem. So whether that's BTP hackathons to bring devs in, or using the BTP funds to pay for integrations and stuff like that. So I think the cool part about that is that the P reps get to be a part of that decision making and decide whether that's adequate funding and the best path forward for the network. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I will say one piece of advice for people coming to the CPS system is introduce yourself to the community first. Get involved on the price channels, get involved on the main network channel, get involved in the individual group channels. I mean, each DApp has its own community, which is awesome. Nebula, GangsterBet, IconBet, even SNR Supernode Racing has a channel. We're moving a lot of stuff over to Discord as well. Discord's a big place to go to participate. Let people get to know you. Don't just come in as a random person or team and try to apply for funding, because most likely people are going to be like, who is this? We don't know you. And so, just get to know people, introduce yourself, talk more. It's going to take a little bit of time to build up a reputation, but then you stand a better chance at actually getting the funding than just coming in as some random person.
Look, I think good call out, Gia. It's so important. We've had a couple of times where people have just put up proposals and they get rejected, and people don't, and then we don't hear from them again. But at the same time, like, it needs to be floated. And TJ, is there, I know one of the earlier things you talked about as part of CPS was trying to integrate that initial proposal where people are drafting and asking for feedback from P-reps into CPS itself, so that it's not in the forums and kind of a big disconnect. Is that still on the cards?
Yeah, so I think we kind of pushed that part of it back to focus more on some backend changes, but I think with our next push kind of being focused on user experience, that'll be one main point. So we've talked about just integrating or interfacing the existing form directly on the CPS dashboard, but we've also talked about being able to essentially post a proposal draft where then people can just comment directly on that proposal. So almost like a test run for these proposals to gain feedback before actually proposing. I think I want to say like a lot of the EVM chains use like Snapshot for their governance proposals. And I think that people are able to comment on those specific proposals. So at the end of the day, we're just looking for like the best way to introduce a good user experience, while at the same time for proposals to get the best feedback possible from the community before they actually submit the proposal.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think one thing, we have a couple minutes and now Min will be joining us very soon. So I just want to finish this off. There's a few comments. Everyone, we're going to have TJ back on a little bit later, and he's going to break down what some of the big changes from a tokenomics perspective, from inflation perspective, that is going to happen post Icon 2.0. And I've seen some comments around burn ICX and things like that. It kind of starts to intertwine to that. So we'll have him on and he'll break it down for us later. But I feel in all of this, Polo, you have not got a word in. You've just been silently listening to everything. I'm really sorry about that. But
that's no problem. They get excited about the CPS, so I let them handle that part, and I'll take care of any questions of IconBet or Sportsbook or poker that's coming up. Although Gio usually takes care of the poker questions, but all the technical CPS stuff, I let them handle it.
Yeah,
I like it that way.
Cool.
Yeah, okay, and just a couple of shout outs real quick. Me, Paulo, and TJ are part of GPS Gaming, who are doing the sports book, and we have done a couple games for IconBet as well, and obviously Supernode Racing. So we have our Supernode Racing channel. You can come in and ask us GPS questions as well, and then you also know all of us from IAM Icon Asset Management, which is a fund that we created to help people put their money where, it will make more money. And then really quick, Pixels, me and Brian Kay started this little collectibles game project that we're building. It'll come out after 2.0 launches. So look forward for more information for that as well.
Cool. Thanks, Gio. Okay, guys, look, thank you for joining us. We got Min on now, so we'll get him to join. Hey, Gio, Polo, maybe later when we kick off Celebration Hour, maybe you guys can jump in again and celebrate with everyone. That'll be cool.
Yeah, for sure. Sounds good.
Yeah, looks like you guys have run out of room though, so I'm gonna hop out and let someone else take my spot, so that way they can appreciate the celebration of the launch as well.
Cool. Okay. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. Take care.
Yep. Thanks for having us. I'll probably see you guys again in, I think, 30 minutes or so. I'll be back on with Scott and those guys.
Definitely. Cool. Thanks, TJ.
All right. Yep. See ya.
Bye. Hey, Min. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Excellent.
Thanks for putting this together. This is awesome.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. Quite the turnout, and yeah, it's been really great. And really, full credit, Elise has been helping gather the troops and the foundation. Everyone has just been so willing to join on, which has been made it very easy to put together. So thank you again. We haven't had John Iron on before. The goal was, to get so big that when we went to come on the show, you'd be like, yeah, definitely, no problem. you'd know who we were. So, but it's great to have you. This is a perfect event to have you on the show, and yeah, just get to talk to you. So thank you so much.
Oh, let's yeah. How many people are on right now? Do you have a number? I don't see any indicators.
506 at the moment.
Oh wow! Nice.
Yeah, so quite the turnout, and everyone's excited in the chat. As soon as you've come on, it's just going nuts. They're all loving you. Cool. So I think Min, since you've joined us, should we kick it off with a bit of a giveaway, Icongrapher? Like, just get the ball rolling. You've come on, so many donations. Giveaway. Yep. Okay.
Might as well.
Brian. Yeah. Excellent. Brian, what do we want to give away? Okay, we've got a ton of stuff to give away. I think. You know what? I think, Min, because you're on, and one of our great big sponsors is Project Nebula. Let's do a spaceship. Let's give away a spaceship. So what we want to do here, Brian, I'll let you in the background. He will pick a lucky winner and announce it and ask us to join, DM us with the Twitter handle, so then we can make the arrangements. But all I need you to do as part of the competition is in the comment section, just put Project Nebula. Just that's all you need to do. As long as your comment has Project Nebula, in the next 5 minutes, we will do a draw, and one winner will get a lucky spaceship so that they can start playing the game. Excellent. Now let that happen, and Min, let's kick things off. So I think the first thing we wanted to do was, how are you feeling? Like, this is Icon 2.0. Like, this is a big deal. We've known about the migration. Everything's been happening in the background. We've probably been, everyone's been getting anxious because it was, taking a while, because it's meant to. You don't know what would transpire during the migration. And here we are. So how are you feeling about it?
Oh man, it's definitely exciting. I feel like we've unlocked the next stage in a video game, a big stage. So very excited, a big milestone. I think our community and I have been waiting about a year now for this. So just getting it over the finish line is definitely exciting. It's something to celebrate. It's something that I will definitely drink to tonight. It's early in the morning in San Francisco at the moment, so I'm just grabbing coffee, but definitely later tonight I will be celebrating a lot more. And just frankly, we get to dedicate a lot more resources now towards other important parts of the project, such as BTP interoperability, getting that not only over to the first version, which will be out hopefully soon, but already we're planning to work on the next version, so we get to dedicate a lot more resources towards that, and just resources all around just frees up, improving core functionalities of the blockchain. Our engineers can dedicate more time to researching and experimenting with other chains and learning and implementing and getting sharing new ideas. So I think the past year we've been just very narrowly focused on getting to today, right? Just getting over the front finish line, but now we get to just enjoy and spend some time doing other things, which will bring a lot, hopefully a lot more value to the Icon blockchain.
Yep. Okay. I was just going to say, Minute, if your Icon Grapher, did the picture freeze for a little bit? On my side, it froze a little bit. It's come good now. So.
No, it was smooth. It was smooth for me.
Okay, I think it's me. I'm all the way in Australia, it's like late at night. I think the internet slows down in the night as well, just because it goes to sleep at the same time. So no, I'm glad it was working perfectly for everyone else. Cool.
So, what kind of moving back in time a little bit. What caused what was the impetus for the decision to start having that conversation of, hey, do we need to upgrade? Because obviously, that's a big decision. So I assume it wasn't, it's not like you woke up in the middle of the night and said, shoot, we should just upgrade the chain. So what was it that spurred that decision? And then kind of when did that process start? I know you just kind of mentioned a year ago, but I imagine even kind of the planning stage, took a little bit of time too. So what's the context there?
Right. So yeah, I would love to kind of step back a couple of years from what I can recall. So when we started out the project, we wanted to get something out there very quickly. We've been experimenting with Python version. Python is sort of known for getting things up and running very quickly. So our engineers got a product out there to test, to work with, and felt it was a decent product, but it was in a sense never intended to be a full version or a final version of a product. We always wanted to learn from operating and developing a blockchain for the first couple of years, and taking that learning and building a completely new blockchain from scratch that would be optimized for bringing all the 2 years of learning together and building something fresh and building something much more superior. So a lot of this decision was actually from our team itself, and from the very beginning we had the idea of possibly upgrading to a new architecture that would be superior to whatever that we would introduce in the very beginning. Is that and then maybe taking another couple of years, and it was we were the engineers and everyone felt we wanted to build a enterprise version that got a lot of feedbacks from especially in Korea, with all the enterprise partners that the Korea team was working with, and specifically what we know as the Icon Loop team. So they work with, as you guys all know, governments and larger enterprises, and they received a lot of good feedback. And they from that feedback, they decided to design a Go Loop blockchain, which was more superior. So what you guys see today, Icon 2.0, is a public blockchain version of the Go Loop. And it is very complex in a way that this part of the blockchain had to be fully decentralized, and it's a different software from the enterprise version, but the core of it is the same. So the enterprise version of what we're launching today has been operating for about a year now. So some of the enterprises in Korea has already been using, basically an Icon 2.0 version, and it's been very, very steady. A superior product. We've been, getting great feedback. So, I think it's very interesting how, we take a lot of this feedback from an enterprise version and then we apply to a public version of it.
That's great. And Min, you should know we hit a record high, 558 while you were talking. You're proving to be quite popular. So I guess, Min, when I was thinking about the party, right, I figured we'd have a lot of our community just there, because the community is probably extremely excited. Well, we know we are. And one of the questions I wanted to ask you was,
Hey, Ricky.
Hey, Ricky.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. Welcome to the show. First time for you as well. Great.
I know. Yeah, great to be here.
Excellent. Okay, so one quick thing, Ricky will come in and I'll start quizzing you as well. We're keen to get your thoughts around Icon 2.0, but I just wanted to. Actually, I'll phrase this. Both of y'all can chime in here. So. Icon Graph, I'm taking over your question here. What are some of the biggest challenges you and your team overcame? Like, when we think Icon, like in the background, we know there's stuff happening, especially in this space. Every day it's a roller coaster. So, what share with us something that you've lived through that probably has not been heard of out here to us, the community. It would be great to get some insights. The untold story, per se.
Oh man, I don't know, Ricky. There's so many to probably choose from in terms of challenges. I mean, every day is a challenge, I would say. I think this industry is just so dynamic, as you all know, and we have so many new users of all types from all around the world. And I think every day is just brings on a different challenge, and I think that's part of it. It's stressful, but it's you have to embrace it, and you sort of need to brush it off, and some of these challenges, and stick to your sort of core beliefs in a lot of these things. So I think I'm just kind of like saying these things in very, very, very general terms, but just to give you a sense that when you see, this crypto market is just crazy. Like every day I wake up and I just think, like, am I living in reality or virtual reality, metaverse already? Are we playing with fake money, real money? It's just like, we're all trying to do something very experimental and create something that is sustainable and value, at least with the Icon project. So that's been our has been always our core focus. But when you see like these like meme coins just exploding and creating a scene, and it's just it definitely it makes you think about this society and this world and and all of that. So I mean, I'm getting into like kind of things that are philosophical, but at the end of the day, our core belief is creating value through interoperability, which is at the very core, very important for us, and I think that keeps us going.
Yeah.
I would say the challenge in this industry is something that like, for example, we struggle with. We have been recently having a lot of debates around is that we believe Icon has a very strong technology. Our foundation is technology. We have very strong engineers, some of the best engineers that I've worked with in my career. And we all sort of sit in the background the technology of that we built is not very tangible for you, for the users. It's something that we've built. Is, you know, you can't really see the architecture of Icon. You can't really see how, you know, the blockchain transfer protocol, the interoperability technology that we've built, the architecture, how it actually works in the background. From a user perspective, they might just look at all the bridges and say all bridging solutions look very similar. I mean, they do what they're supposed to do, you know, centralized, decentralized, how it functions, you know, it all looks the same from a user perspective. So I think the challenge is how do you differentiate yourself when that user experience, you know, looks the same basically. So, you know, I think that's quite a challenge. It takes a lot of education. It's something that I would say we've been struggling with. I mean, I wouldn't say we've been struggling. It's something that we've been thinking about. And, you know, I think BTP is very unique. I think the technology in itself, as we move forward, once we, you know, we've been talking with, you know, various partners, and they understand, which is the reason why the BTP working group has been growing, and we have some of the, you know, most prominent chains joining the BTP working group, and we'll be launching quite soon. So, you know, basically, you know, other technical teams know the difference and they are very excited about it. But from a user perspective, how do we do that? So, you know, I think we have, without giving too much, you know, information at the moment, because I don't want to take the thunder from the team that's been planning things out. But, you know, I think there are some you know, very interesting and exciting things around the corner. So, you know, we will see how our team actually overcomes this this challenge.
Cool. No, appreciate sharing so much, Min. I really appreciate it. In the background, I realized I didn't call stop. Everyone can stop about Project Nebula. This is great. We've literally had a feed for the last 10, 15 minutes, just people typing Project Nebula. Brian will now sift through each and every comment and handpick a winner. So that'll take him a few days. And so in the meantime, we will... let's keep moving. Ricky, we've got you on the show. I think I want to phrase this question to everyone, and then we'll throw more questions, wave after wave of questions at both of you and Min. So, Ricky, how are you feeling, Icon 2.0?
I feel great. I feel like, you know, it's putting something like laying down the foundation for future growth, obviously. And then another portion of it is, you know, being able to relieve some of the developer resources to work on, you know, other projects and other sort of initiatives that we want to go forward with. So I think it's kind of a relief for the team to sort of cross this major sort of hurdle for the group. And then from now, like, we have a lot of other things in the sort of pipeline that we're hoping to spend a lot more time on and allow the developers to sort of flourish a little bit more, not focusing so much on sort of the core blockchain side of things, but maybe, you know, move up the stack a bit with regards to the development for the Icon network.
Cool. That itself sounds very promising and exciting. I feel like I want to probe more, but I won't.
Yeah. And I think, like, maybe I'll go back to like the question you asked, man, as far as like what's going on in the background in the industry that maybe the community doesn't see as much. But I think the major thing that, you know, sort of founders or you know, leaders or, you know, people focused on operations within these projects, you know, I would say a lot of the focus has been sort of on the regulatory side of things. I would say, you know, Min, myself, others probably spend 20-30% of their time really sort of focused on these sorts of things, speaking with lawyers, trying to get sort of the operational like structure right, make sure that we can sort of have a foundation to transition this sort of project, this decentralized organization into one formally, making sure that we're taking like the right steps in order to put those things in place. So I would say, you know, a lot of people don't talk about it, but, you know, a lot of the focus is on, you know, making sure that we're going down the right path,
with this sort of ever moving, regulatory environment to make sure that, Icon project is in a really good spot, once we get some further clarification there. And it's just in a really great spot for the community to sort of flourish and take on even greater responsibility. So it's one of the main focuses that we have, and it takes up a lot of time, but it's for, it's for the right reasons, and it's to put the sort of community in the best place forward.
Yeah, okay, that's great, and it's such an evolving beast, that component at the moment, isn't it? Because every aspect is being scrutinized, and so yeah, as much as you can plan, every day it may change a little bit. So it's great to see that that is a major point of focus as well. Thanks, Ricky.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Icongrapher, what have you got? I know you've got a question. You've been itching. Very silent.
Well, I know we got a little bit of intel around that. Ricky, you're spending a good chunk of your time, if not all your time, on the ICE side of things. Do you just kind of want to talk through how that's been going, what that process looked like, and why kind of you're excited about ICE?
Yeah, so the ICE project really started to sort of kick off several months ago when we made the announcement that we were looking to add on EVM capabilities to the Icon network. I think we had a debate amongst community members on what the best path forward is on that front, and we decided to go with the route that was sort of simpler and maybe the cleanest approach, which is to have this sort of sidechain that will allow interoperability, but also the capabilities of the EVM, and also maybe tap into another ecosystem, which I think is a very strong one as well, which is the Polkadot ecosystem. So ICE is going to be a substrate-based sidechain. ICX is still going to be sort of the governance token for that. That's one of the things that I think folks are spending the most time on now. The teams that are involved in ICE is sort of ironing out what the token economics will sort of look like for that protocol, and sort of what we know what the short-term focus is, and that's providing EVM capabilities for the Icon ecosystem. But what is sort of the medium term? What is the sort of long-term vision of ICE? I think that is something that people are sort of keenly focused on now, and something that's going to take a little bit of time, but it's something that we have really good teams working on. And as far as like my role, I wouldn't say I'm like part of the core team. I'm probably more of an advisor to the project. And I work alongside the three teams that are involved. One is sort of focused on sort of core blockchain. The other is on sort of marketing community, and another is on sort of infrastructure around the project. So think like wallets, integrations, trackers, those sorts of things. So we have a number of really highly skilled, capable individuals to lead this project, and we're really excited about the opportunity that's sort of ahead of us there.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, that's so. Min, did you originally, when you're pulling the team together and you had the vision for, you wanted to launch a chain, did you think in your mind, it'll evolve into a couple of chains, a side chain or more than the original Icon?
Yeah, I mean that's how we started from the very beginning. Is how the team in Korea, the Icon Loop team, has been working with so many enterprises, and they all wanted their own individual private enterprise version of their chains. And we foresaw a future where we believe and still believe that multi-chain is the future. So there will be many chains around the world from different enterprises, public and private blockchains that that needs to be interoperable. So in a sense, yes, we did not specifically see something like a need for ICE chain back then, but as we move forward, yeah, I mean, you see Ethereum with side chains. You have different other chains building side chains. So for us, I think it makes sense where there is a opportunity for teams to be excited about a Icon, an ICE chain that is EVM compatible. There's a need for it. There's uses for it. We've been talking to a lot of dApp developers outside of our ecosystem that's excited about it. So yeah, I think there's clearly a demand for it. And obviously being a interoperable solution, it makes a lot of sense where, we could create one of the first use cases by connecting an ICE blockchain to the Icon blockchain. So, I think it all sort of came together and made a lot of sense for us.
Excellent. No, it's great. Cool. I'm keeping an eye on the time. I think let's. If y'all have to jump off, please let me know. I know we'll have now Scott, Dakey, and everyone else joining. So, and we can have 9 people on at the same time. So you're free to hang out on the live stream. We're still over 530 people constantly listening. Just before we move on, we have our first winner, Flarix. So if you are listening, can you please post Icon wallet address? We will make a note of it. And for the spaceship, I believe these spaceships will be delivered at the end of November. That is the plan, when there's some announcement planned for Project Nebula, and that's when the spaceships will be shipped out. So congratulations there. I can see they're excited. So that's great to hear. I think, Icongrapher, do you want to ask another question we had for, I think it was around ICE still, while we're on the topic of ICE?
Yeah, I know. So there's a lot of, obviously, there's so much going on in crypto these days. A lot of chains that are popping up are offering, a lot of incentives to kind of lure developers over, and potentially lure users, lure liquidity, all that other good stuff. How much of that, how much of thinking of that is part of your thought process as far as kind of the game plan for ICE, and how much, is there anything you've kind of nailed down already yet, or anything like that on kind of that element of making sure, there's nothing worse than building a chain and then nobody's showing up. So what's, how do you guys approach that?
Yeah, so I think that's that's probably the, outside of sort of the token economic side of the things, I think that's the number one focus, is let's make sure that we're building this chain for users. And I guess the most logical question after that is just like, how do we get those users? And I think it's kind of twofold. It's like, one, there's already sort of a user base out there that utilizes these EVM based services, be it DeFi or NFTs or what have you. So how do we sort of tackle that market, and maybe bring over some of those products onto ICE? And then there's another, is just how do we just organically, or through some sort of mechanism, bring in new users? So it's something that we're very focused on. I think you'll probably hear a bit more about that later in this program from others on maybe the incentivization for Icon, but it's something that we're thinking about a lot with ICE as well. And we'll probably leverage the Icon team as well on that front, providing some incentives for developers to launch onto ICE. So it's something that we're thinking about. We want to have activity from day one. We don't want to sort of have this sort of build it and they will come approach. We want ICE to launch with a user base, and ICE to launch with economic activity sort of ongoing from day one. So it's something that we're really focused on. We have, like I said, really good teams sort of thinking about these approaches, and we've already sort of made contact with these other teams that we're hoping to sort of onboard. So we're in good shape, and it's just at this point in time, it's kind of just like getting things in order before we can sort of pull the trigger on the launch.
Ricky, so much teasing over there, almost dropping names, but just not giving in. No, but thank you so much. That's great. And just earlier when Gio was on the call, he actually made mention. So, Sportsbook, a few of the expansions on that side of things that will go on Icon, they're looking to pivot it and looking to launch on ICE on the day, we have a launch date. So that's actually very exciting and good to hear as well. So things are shaping up well on that front. That's awesome.
Yeah, I would let me add to what Ricky, because you talked about sort of the incentive program. I think you guys mentioned that there's so many incentive programs out there today launched by various projects in the hundreds of millions of dollars. So for one, I think what makes Icon unique is that we've had an incentive program from the very, for about a year now, called CPS, or Contribution Proposal System, where basically we have a DAO fund controlled by the PREPs, and we've been giving away grants to build on the Icon blockchain and other initiatives for Icon. So, so if you're a team that is excited to build, then there is this CPS that is available for everyone to tap into. So, and that, I think that makes Icon, what is a lot more unique and a lot more transparent with the grant system. Like, if you see a lot of these incentive programs today, it's very cloudy. Like, you don't know, there's an application process, there's actual people behind it that reviews these. They call it $100 million fund, but you don't exactly know where the money is going to. Whereas CPS is sort of a forever fund, so it's not limited. It's controlled by the PREPs. Very transparent, open, and I think this is one of the advantages of the Icon blockchain, making developing on Icon very sustainable through the future. So it might not be as buzzy and getting headlines as some of these other, I guess, incentive programs you see out there, but we have CPS, which is built for sustainability of Icon, and I think is far superior than any other grant designs out there. And we've been improving this. Specifically, TJ has been improving this over the past year, so we have some more exciting, I guess, developments in the future with CPS. On the other side, we are planning something specific for BTP that's in the works. So Icon's core focus is interoperability. So we want to get more people, more incentives to use the core technology. So, again, without giving too much details, because I don't want to take the thunder from the actual team that's working on this, but yeah, we have some, things in the works that, actually, we want to get users getting used to using our interoperability solution, and we want to incentivize that behavior.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I think to everyone listening, this is a great scene, by the way. Just take a moment. Everyone's on the call. We're just, I think, missing a couple of key people as well. Hey, Elise.
Hi.
And yeah, just take it in. I think one of the things we should dive straight into while we're talking as well is jump in and give a few intros. Everyone knows Scott. I think Min, just to cover off, I think great in talking through CPS. Even Geo, it's funny, the CPS system has really made an impact. The first guest we had on the show, within a moment, they started talking about CPS because they've got several projects building thanks to CPS, and what it meant, what the differences are versus what's out there, because they themselves went and looked out there and saw all the fine print and went, no, this isn't worth it. CPS is the real deal. We can actually get proper funding for our projects. And you've come on just afterwards and said the exact same thing, which reinforces that it's not just your views, it's actually people that are building on the network feel the same way as well. So I really appreciate you sharing that with us.
Yeah. My pleasure.
Cool. And everyone keep hanging out. You don't need to go. This is great. I think by the end of the call, I'll be like, please don't go. We've still got 530 people watching. There's quite a lot of comments. The people want to ask questions. We will get there, everyone. It's a jam-packed show, so bear with us. So let's dive. I know, Scott Dakey, you've joined us. Guys, I've been asking everyone this question, so I got to throw it to you. Scott, you can lead the charge. Icon 2.0, how are you feeling?
Feeling excited. We're finally here. It's happening. Yeah. I don't see anything going wrong. It's all working out. I knock on wood, but it seems to be going well.
Agree. I think, I don't know, have we got an update from Elise? Have we got an update from the guys, how things are progressing. I know we were meant to save a spot for them.
Yeah, so basically, they've been giving us updates. I don't know if you are familiar with the migration plan dev portal page, but we've gotten as far as stage 3-5. And I think it seems like we've progressed a little more after that. So stages that have been progressing, stages that have been cleared basically are being crossed out. Is there a way to share a link to this right now for the viewers?
I think Brian would have to take over sharing duties. But you know what, Elise, I've been very rude. So for everyone listening, and I'm going to be very blunt and direct here. So, one of the things we hear when marketing, I've addressed this a lot. Me and Icongraph have talked about it. Once we have a product, once we have dApps, once we have things happening, marketing will come. And who we have with us, Elise and Jen, who's also on here, are the marketing team that have been brought on by the foundation. So, and they haven't revealed themselves, I believe. So this is official. It's an Iron Icon reveal exclusive. Welcome to the show, ladies. Thank you for joining. We really appreciate having you on. I know the community has wanted to meet y'all and see who y'all are and what y'all have been up to in the background. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
having us.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. I want to keep continuing the panel. So Scott, he's excited. Man, a few words, and the less he says, the more excited he is. That's what I've gotten to know about Scott. Dakey, how are you feeling about Icon 2.0?
No, I think I'm in the same boat as Scott here. I think Icon 2.0 is something that team has been waiting for. I'll say not months or year at this point, like years at this point. So it's great to see that it's finally happening. I think Icon 2.0 will enable a lot of things. Like I know a lot of initiatives were waiting for Icon 2.0 to happen, things like BTP and ICE. So excited to see a lot of these things, happen over the next few, weeks, months, etc.
Yep. Cool. I think it would be rude if I didn't do this. Jen, how are you feeling about Icon 2.0? Elise, how are you feeling? Jen, go first.
Good. I'm glad that it's here. I'm glad we're moving forward. I think Icon has a lot in store coming up, so I'm just excited to move ahead and progress.
Yep.
Right.
Elise?
So, yeah, it's just super exciting. With interoperability increasingly talked about in the industry, it just feels like Icon is leading the effort. So super excited about the future of Icon and, leading this initiative to connect to all other blockchains.
Yep. Cool. I think Icongrapher, you got anything to chime in?
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't stopped talking.
Yes, well, we have Scott and Daiki on here. Obviously, Scott, your baby is balanced, and Daiki, yours is Ohm. To what extent does Icon 2.0, does it what advantages, what strengths, I guess, moving forward as far as your guys' respective platforms? What advantages or opportunities does Icon 2.0 potentially open up? I mean, obviously, I think a clear one is that it better opens the gateway as far as BTP is concerned. But I guess, from a tangible perspective, is there anything that you're specifically excited about regarding 2.0 as far as how it can benefit your respective protocols, platforms?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited for Java contracts personally. Any developer with an Icon ecosystem knows the pain points of writing in Python and the audit process, and having to rely on it's just like you have less control over your business. So the Java contracts and the upgradability and just the more freedom associated with it is something I'm really excited for. We're migrating balanced contracts to Java as we speak. Just kind of all new developments are in Java. And then also, like, with the Java contracts comes a lot more features. There's like DAO features. So like a contract can deploy another contract, a contract can own another contract. And what I'm looking forward to is having like full control of all balanced contracts by balanced token holders, and having like all upgrades and any sort of development controlled and gatekept by the governance system. So when the governance contract truly owns all other contracts, that's going to be a major milestone in Balanced history that I'm looking forward to.
Cool. And then Scott, while you're here, what is because obviously with the transition, a lot of things have been on pause. So do you want to give a quick sneak peek of once we're live, what kind of updates we're going to see Balance get deployed to Balance?
Yeah, we have transaction routing is coming, continuous rewards, and the BIP6 implementation, which is paying out all rewards and balance tokens, BNUSD and ICX. And like with transaction routing, we've been pausing adding new assets to the user interface because we refactored it a lot in preparation for transaction routing. So without having to duplicate too much work, we'd have to be duplicating a lot of work if we were adding new assets to the user interface. So, GBet specifically is one I'm really excited about. They got a good community, and being able to add that to balance trading is going to be exciting.
Can you, just for reminder's sake, as far as the listeners or those who might not have heard, what the transaction routing is specifically?
True, yeah. So transaction routing is like, even if there's not a specific liquidity pool pair, like, BNUSD against OHM, for example, you could still trade BNUSD for OHM, and the front end will handle doing the swaps between pools, and it'll also calculate the cheapest way to get there. Cool. So you can go BNUSD straight to OHM in one trade from the user experience standpoint, but in the back end, there's a contract that does like multiple swaps for you.
I have to admit, Scott, until recently, my productivity just plummeted because all I was trying to do was look for ARB opportunities between each and every pair. And day job was really suffering, but I called it quits on ARBing. So really looking forward to this. Cool. Same question, Dakey, your side, you're leading the charge with OHM. We've got some great interest rates that are just rivaling every other, well, it's not rivaling, beating every other network from a consistency perspective. What are your thoughts? What do you got up your sleeve, ready to go post Icon 2.0?
Okay, yeah. I mean, just to clarify, I think that's something that's owned by the community and like really governed by the community. So I'm just like one of the, I would say, contributors to the protocol at this point. I mean, what I am excited about, Icon 2.0 is, as I mentioned earlier, I think a lot of us were waiting for, things that would come along with Icon 2.0, right? Like I think Icon 2.0 itself is definitely a major milestone, but stuff like BTP that, a lot of folks have been waiting for, about Icon is like the interoperability piece, and that's going to come with the Icon 2.0. So I think, if you think about Icon right now, there is, I think the number of assets are growing. But I think for any of these DeFi protocols, like the variety of asset category actually is quite meaningful, because that means like there are more assets you can borrow against, more assets you can borrow, more assets you can trade. So I think, hopefully with these BTP being enabled, with the completion of Icon 2.0, I think the community is already discussing like what are the different communities that we should engage more with. Like what are the cross-chain collaborations that should happen? Like what are assets that should be added? So I think those are kind of some of the really exciting discussions and what likely make OHM a lot more active going forward.
Cool. Excellent. Thanks, Dakey. Okay. TJ, you've been very silent. You've already spoken.
I've already talked today, so I'm letting everyone have the time.
Cool. Then I'll let you go back quiet. I want to pick your brain soon for I want to focus in a little bit while everyone's here as well, and the tokenomics aspect with the changes once we get into Icon 2.0, one of the things that gets voted in. But before we do that, I feel let's spend a bit of time with the marketing team. Like, that it's your time to share what. I'm keen to learn, Elise, Jen, how has it been joining the team? I'm sure when you joined, there was a lot of just so much to take on board. How's that experience been?
Yeah, it took a little to get up to speed with everything, but overall it's a great team, and I think that we're going to do really big things. Just a lot of focus on expanding our visibility and educational content in the works, and just trying to get the word out about Icon, and better communication between our community and cross promotion and events, all sorts of things in the works.
Cool. Elise, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, so I think Jen and I really joined at a really exciting time for the Icon project with, Icon 2.0 mainnet launch, and then, the soon coming BTP. There's just a lot of marketing initiatives that we can take on, so it's very exciting. Yeah, so with the launch of BTP, for example, you can look forward to a lot of co-hosted AMA sessions, or, just general opportunities to meet and hear from not only our team, but also team members from our various BTP partners, Moonbeam, Near, Binance Smart Chain, Harmony, Edgeware. So all of these present as opportunities for me and Jen, and we're just really excited about this.
Cool. I feel if I keep asking questions in different ways around the circle, one of you will start dropping alpha that you weren't meant to drop in this live stream. So I think I'm gonna keep trying. Min, I feel you're close to cracking and just saying something that you shouldn't be saying in today's stream. I can see you itching away. Okay, so Elise, could you share with us? So y'all have been doing quite a lot of work in the background, even in this short time. I know you just mentioned Moonbeam and things like that, but I've noticed in the last month, like channel appearances, influencers, things like that. Could you share some of the stuff that has happened, and perhaps a couple of things on the horizon apart from the BTP AMA sessions?
Yeah, so we've had Hashoshi cover Ohm, Balanced, and there's an Icon 2.0 video that's coming out as well. So it's been a great experience working with him. And then we have Altcoin Buzz working with us as well for video content. But aside from this, we have influencers that we're contacting and have lined up for further promotion. So you can look forward to that.
We're also, really pushing our HX57 efforts too, to kind of get the community joined in and get a lot of really cool content, because we have a lot of great artists and content writers already in the ecosystem. So being able to kind of give them a stage to present their work is pretty great.
Cool. Yeah. I want to pause for a moment. Everyone that's listening, the comments have been going crazy. I'm sorry I haven't been able to look at questions or things like that. Brian or anyone in the background, if we can just start looking at what the community is saying and asking, and if there are some questions, let's pose it. Get that conversation out there since we have the panel. Apologies, not ignoring intentionally. Planning on my part was a little bit off in terms of capturing all the comments that would come through from the live stream. So sorry about that. Okay, so while we're talking, and I'm keeping an eye on time as well, so I'm trying to plow through questions and thoughts I have personally. I can graph a jump in at any time, but I know TJ, let's talk tokenomics. I feel this is a big one. Like, yes, Icon 2.0, it's been in the making, but the changes that is coming to inflation is a big deal, because it kind of focuses on, zones in on CPS. Inflation gets routed, majority of it goes into CPS, and CPS is something that everyone who's come on the show today has really highlighted. So could you share a bit more info on how this changes, like where we are at the moment, but Icon 2.0, what the changes will be?
Yeah, so we have rough numbers of what the initial reduction of inflation should look like. So I think right now, rough Icon 1 inflation is around 47 million ICX per year. And then with the new reduction in inflation on Icon 2.0, it's going to be around 36 million a year. So that's around 24% reduction. So that's immediate 11 million drop in inflation. So that's kind of an immediate impact that we'll be seeing. But as you said, 10% of all Icon 2 inflation will be going towards the CPS fund directly. So I think that's around 300,000 ICX per month. So you can imagine that that is money that is going to be used to help bolster the ecosystem. And as Min said, like this is a decentralized ecosystem fund, essentially an incentive program for projects to build on our ecosystem. So, and as you said though, like the whole point of this inflation coming to CPS is right now that there's max caps on the CPS fund. So once those caps are hit, then any excess ICX coming in to the fund is being burnt. So essentially, if the CPS is well funded, then anything else coming into the CPS, whether that's Icon 2.0 inflation or fees from BTP, is all coming into the CPS and being burnt. So that's kind of like the whole introduction of like deflation into the Icon ecosystem. So like initially it's not going to be fully deflationary. Obviously there's still a lot of work to be done. There needs to be a ton of volume on BTP. We need to have more transactions on the network in general, but it's a good start for sure. And even like the initial 25% reduction in inflation should reduce some sell pressure on the price as well.
Yeah, great. No, that's good. Scott, is there anything else you wanted to add around the tokenomics? Because I know you've been involved as well in that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just highlight what TJ said about how it's a 25% drop in actual like new ICX minted, and then from there you have like, I can't remember the exact numbers. TJ just said 10%. I think it's around that is being allocated to the contribution proposal system, so that further lowers the amount that's available on the market in terms of new supply. And overall, yeah, I mean, I'm just happy to see that we as a network have kind of a sustainable growth architecture that's going to be live, of just putting inflation directly into the contribution proposal system. Going back to some earlier blockchains, I think Zcash had 20% of block rewards that were allocated to, I don't remember the name of the company that was behind it, but essentially the Zcash Foundation, if you will, and that was used for further development. And, we've kind of taken that a step further with, allocating some percentage of block rewards directly to a community-owned development fund to further the growth of the ecosystem in a decentralized, sustainable way. So I definitely think like having these inflation buckets, inflation is allocated directly to like a controlled environment where the community can vote on things to spend the money on makes a lot of sense. And I'm excited to see it in action.
Yeah, and just touching on that as well. So like right now, the max caps for the CPS are, I would say, relatively low. So it's going to be around like 300 or 400,000 ICX total that will be allowed in the CPS, and that's a parameter that can be changed by PREPs depending on what we kind of want to see in the network. So if we feel like enough ICX is coming into the CPS, we can keep the low caps and try to go more the deflationary route, or we can essentially remove those max caps, and the CPS at the end of the day just becomes a well-funded ecosystem fund. And I mentioned this earlier, these funds we eventually want to see go into either the application layer, whether that's introducing new projects or even incentivizing existing apps, or even possibly finding a way to have this improve the BTP ecosystem as well, whether that's BTP hackathons, paying for integrations, or even finding a way to incentivize different like wrapped asset liquidity.
Oh, yes, that's a good one. I never thought of it from an incentivization of liquidity purposes. That's pretty cool, TJ. Yeah. Usually we just think of DAOs, the protocols incentivizing, but in order to attract liquidity, we could really leverage our CPS as well, especially if there's a bit in there at the start. Cool. Okay, that's great. Min, Ricky, if you all have views on this, please share. I'm just going around the table. I know To me, this is huge. Like I feel it, and I'm constantly trying to reinforce this message. The amount, because I guess the original it went deflationary if we had a certain amount of transactions. That's how it was designed. So we saw ETH do all this hype, EIP 1559, but this icon had all that kind of built in where it got deflationary after a certain point. But these changes with Icon 2.0 is adding on top of, so with the CPS and BTP, there's all these extra factors that can drive deflation into the overall tokenomics, which is brilliant. And yeah, I want to make more noise about it. So here's the noise with everyone on. Okay.
Yeah, I'll just add that we're definitely very excited about the token economics part that will be driven not only through CPS, but actually we're looking forward to the utility aspect of BTP. Yeah, I mean, the core focus should not only be using that inflation towards building more valuable applications or infrastructure of the Icon blockchain, but also, using that fund or I'll say using, where utility portion of the Icon comes in to, and that core utility will be BTP, and that's what we're shooting for. So we want a lot more activities, a lot more blockchains that's going to be connected to Icon. The more blockchains that we connect to Icon, it's going to bring more utility, create more of that deflation that we're looking for, and it actually overall brings more of a network effect. And we believe that the utility factor will be exponential, not just linear, but exponential in a way that, it will reinforce that utility part of the Icon blockchain, which goes back into token economics, and it just gets recycled all over again. So yeah, I mean, we're very excited about that aspect of it. And I think we're starting out with a handful of blockchains, but we're going to start connecting as many blockchains as possible to the Icon network. And I think that's going to be the primary driver of the token economics and deflationary aspect of it, and all of that will be circulated back into building more cool things on Icon, the infrastructure part of Icon, making the blockchain better and better and better. So I think that the grand design, of course, will continue to be improved and tweaked for the future. But I think we have gotten the core economics down at the moment.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. Keeping on time, have we got an update? Do we know where we're at? Are we running ahead of schedule?
Yeah, so it seems like we're pretty much on schedule so far. Yeah, they're working on the hardest part of the stage, which is trying to reach consensus. They're doing some troubleshooting with the P-reps. I think George says touch woods, so I think that's a positive statement. Yeah, but we'll keep you updated.
Cool. Okay, well, I think I knew I'd get slack, and I asked the audience to start chanting for giveaways. There we go. I'm seeing the chants commence. Okay, so let's do another giveaway. This time around Pixels. This time something a little bit different. Make sure when you're putting, I guess, just say Pixels, and I want. Please put your wallet address, so when you win, we have your wallet address and we can send through your prizes. Again, with Pixels, these will get rewarded to you when mainnet is live and things are ready with Icon 2.0. So keep that in mind. So straight after the stream, don't look in your wallet and nothing's there and then go, that Fez, he lied to me. No, not the case. Just wait for it. But while that's happening, I think... Elise, Jen, shall we do it? I think this is your reveal, and part of the reveal, you'll wanted to bring a bit of alpha to the game, and you wanted to preview. What is it? Nexus.
So we're still a little bit undecided about the name, but this is basically the dashboard that people are going to use to interact with our BTP technology. So yes, we are very excited to kind of give you a sneak peek into what it's going to look like, how it's going to feel. So do you want to share?
Yes. Brian, your moment. Let's hope it works. Brian?
Nice.
Awesome. So that was first official view anyone has ever seen, well, apart from people working on it, but shared with the community. Thank you so much for that. Thoughts? I think people are still excited about Pixels. Oh, there's a lot of BTP comments in there. So cool. No, look, personally, when I first saw it, what I loved about it is I loved you could see the transactions and everything across both the chains with UI within the actual, web. Whereas a lot of the other bridges I've seen, I have to go chasing in different components to see transactions on the native chain versus things like that. So for me, I love that right off the bat. Everything else looked cool. I think it's great. Team should be proud.
Thank you. Obviously, it's work in progress. So the team here and the BTP team that's been working on this, the Icon DAO team, I think we'll continue to make progress and improve. So, I think this is what I would, if officially we haven't said it, but it's, I would consider as more of a beta. I think it's a great first look, and we're excited to get it in the hands of our community and get some more feedback. I think that's the great part about BTP and the dashboard that you just saw is that, you're starting to see the actual tangible part of the Icon blockchain. Before, the only way for you to interact with the blockchain is through, IconX or MyIcon wallet, where you can stake, vote, and send. Now you could do a little bit of things on on the dApp side of things, but BTP just opens up a wide range of possibilities, not just bridging transfer of assets, but now you could take assets to other blockchains or bring other assets to the Icon blockchain, and you could do a lot more, and you could actually it's an actual tangible product that you get to see that is directly affecting the token economics of the ICX and the Icon blockchain. So, and all around is very exciting. And this is like, this is what we actually strive for the past 4 years, is to get to this point. So as you can see, I'm very excited about it, and I think our team is very excited about it as well. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we have the time, but as you can see, our team has been growing the past, especially recently. I mean, you're all familiar or very familiar with Scott, Diggy, and Ricky over the past few years, but now we have just on this program itself, launch event, we have TJ, Jen, and Elise, who all joined quite recently. We have other people who are not here who have joined recently as well, and that's working through the current upgrade in the background. Joris has been awesome. We have a new product manager named Hong, who I'm sure you'll meet sometime in the future. But our team has been growing exponentially, and part of that reason is because now we're getting to that point of having real tangible product that differentiates Icon. We could showcase our technology, and we need to have people behind it to push these type of initiatives. I think a lot of our community has been talking a lot about marketing side of things, and we brought in Jen and Elise to spearhead that efforts, and they've been ramping up quite quickly over the past few months, and already have been working with our community members, the most important community members like Fez, you, to bring these type of events for our community, which is a small step. Of course, bigger initiatives and bigger things are planned in the future, but I think the very core of it is, the most exciting part is community engagement, right? That's the most important part, and having you and working with you to put together an event like this, I think is a great first step to sort of take and pass along a lot of great information, like the video that you just shared, to our community. Just having an event like this and more frequently is a good start, in my opinion. So very excited. And I don't know if we had a chance to introduce members of our team and their backgrounds, but yeah, I mean, as you can see, Icon, we've grown in size. We've chosen to become a distributed and decentralized team. So every one of us here are working remotely in their homes. We're trying to figure out how to work more effectively remotely together. Jen is in, I don't know, we're all located differently in different location in US and elsewhere. So very cool. I mean, it's very cool that we're all being able to do these type of events in our home. And we believe the future is, growing our team around the world. So we're always looking for good people. We're hiring, new members every single day. So yeah, we would love to. We're very excited about hiring people from our community and things like that. So yeah, our team will only grow, and I think our community will be very excited to see the team grow over the next few years.
Yeah, agree. Thanks, Min. Really appreciate that. And I know, yeah, as you said, like, the community is eager to just get behind and do everything we can to help grow Icon's presence as well. So it's great that all thoughts are aligned on this. I just, Pixels, the giveaway is done. There is a winner being drawn. I think one question, just so that as a promise, we were looking at questions. The question was asked that we need a better fiat off ramp and on ramp in the Icon ecosystem. Any updates coming for the bridge? and then I told you someone would crack. Scott cracked, and he just dropped some alpha, and he was so Bridge is integrating stably, experience directly into the wallet. So, and if you listened to a couple episodes ago, you know, me and Icongrapher talked about this, and I even made mention there's a bit of a disconnect in this experience, and it would be great if it was integrated in. And it looks like as if they were reading minds, they've already started working through this process. So. Once this happens, then we've got a direct on and off ramp. So that I hope that answers your question, and a great question because it got Scott into giving some news. So thank you for that. Winner will be announced shortly. I think just keeping an eye on time. Have we got anything, Elise? Pressure?
Not since the last update.
Okay. Cool. That's okay. I think we will. Shall we start moving into the next stage of the show? I'm just keen. I don't want to keep you all for too long. Y'all have stayed. Thank you so much for staying for so long. This has been fantastic. I may have another question. Let me see. Nope. All good. Cool. Is there anything before y'all jump off? Is there anything else you want to say to the community? Anything that you may not have covered you wanted to get out? I know I always jump off out of meetings or calls and stuff and go, I should have said that, damn it. So I don't want any of y'all to have that moment. So is there anything you want to cover off or mention?
I guess I'll mention one thing. We'll go for it. But I think I hinted at this about a week ago on Twitter. So I was trying to tease people a little bit about it. But recently, specifically Scott and I have been talking with a blockchain development team that's been working closely with Algorand and the Algorand core team as well. And essentially we've been talking about integrating them into the B2B ecosystem. And we also applied. So Algorand recently had an incentive program, and one specific section of that incentive program was for bridging. And so I kind of applied for it, and we actually were accepted for that grant. So I think we're one of like 5 teams that are gonna be part of that bridging grant. And essentially, similar to all our other connections, work towards integrating Algorand into the B2B ecosystem. So obviously, Algorand has a great team, great community, is a prominent L1 blockchain. So I think there'll probably be more news about it in the future, but we did want to kind of get the conversation started around that. And I'm sure the marketing team will set up some more announcements regarding that in the future.
Yeah, maybe I'll just add there where just to extend, I think one of the exciting things about the Icon project is that in a way we are what you call a smart contract platform. We're layer 1, but in another way we are blockchain agnostic, where we could work with other blockchains like Algorand and Moonbeam, BSC. Yeah, I mean, that's what makes us very unique in a way, where we care. Our core value proposition is to bridge assets and connect assets, and that creates utility for the ICX and our token. So, whereas you see these incentive programs basically thrown out there, where a lot of these blockchains are trying to attract developers and users to their platforms and capital to their platform, Icon sort of sits in between all of these, and we're bringing value in a very different way. And we are, blockchain agnostic, as I mentioned. So TJ brings this great point where we are able to, in a way, apply to Algorand Foundation's grant program and be accepted because of that fact, because we are unique in a way that what we're doing is compatible with every other blockchains out there. So I think that is often overlooked and not emphasized enough, and I think that is something that our community should be very excited about, and something that we're very excited about.
And just to kind of add on to that as well, like what I'm really excited about and what I wanted to kind of lead the community with is that over the coming months, Icon's community is really going to become a melting pot of other communities, like a community of communities, blockchain of blockchains. I'm genuinely excited about that, and seeing like as more blockchains come into the BTP ecosystem, that also helps grow the Icon community. So I think that we have a lot to look forward to in terms of community growth as well.
Yep. I remember your words, Scott. The most connected chains, 2021. We're getting there. No, we are, though. When you look at many of the bridging solutions, there's probably 3 big chains they're always connected to. So if we tick off the major ones we've been working off by the end of 2021, you've delivered on your promise, Scott. No, great. Okay, this is Icongrapher. Did you want to announce the winner? Are you there?
Yep. Sorry. So the winner for the Pixels giveaway is George. Hopefully I say this right. Hookayem. So congratulations to you. We should assume. I assume he put his wallet address in there. So we should have something for you relatively soon.
Yeah, congrats. It's in fact the only name that keeps sticking up, and I keep seeing he's posted his wallet address like every 2 minutes. It keeps popping through. So well-deserved win. He's been really trying to win this egg, so he did it. Cool. Okay. Is there anyone else? I know that few people went to speak up when I asked for anything you want to finish off before you jump off. Did everyone get their say? Yes, silence is golden. Okay. So what we may do, what I was planning on doing is, if we are close to going live or gone live, I was calling it the celebration hour. So we're going to give basically wave after wave of teams building on Icon just 10 minutes to come in and do a bit of a powwow and go what it means to them and what their projects, what updates they have waiting in the pipeline, or hopefully keep dropping some alpha. And then later on in the show, we'll have some community members. The few of them are Aussies, so hopefully they do wake up and come on the show. So, but that's the next part of the show. So, and we'll keep giving away things. But overall, I just want to come back and say thank you to everyone in the foundation. We were in a scramble to get things. I think, has it happened? Elise? Well, maybe comments are getting carried away. Sorry, I saw a comment thinking mainnet has launched. And anyway, coming back to it, thank you so much for taking the time, coming together. We've had close to 500 this entire hour and almost 2 hours now. So people really did want to hear from y'all and just wanted to stay for the conversation. And it's been great. I haven't even felt like it is. I don't even know the time. It's 3 a.m. over here, but I feel like it's just, it's 12 in the afternoon and I'm feeling wide awake. So I've been having a great time personally, and I'm sure the community has as well. So thank you so much for coming on and staying all this time.
Thanks for having us, Fez. Thanks for leading
Thank
this.
you for hosting this.
Thank you, Fez.
Thank you, Fez.
Thanks, Fez.
Thank you.
Thanks, Min. Thanks, everyone. Okay, so take care all. Now, everyone else, so please keep staying on, everyone. We have now Project Nebula. If you guys have been listening, sorry, I didn't realize the room could only hold so many people without you coming online now. So we have Project Nebula joining us. Hang on, everyone. We have now Project Nebula. If you guys have been listening, sorry, I didn't realize the room could only hold. Hey, Dan, you need to stop the stream, please. And then we'll bring you online. Arush, welcome. So Brian, we have the first batch that P-Reps and teams that are joining us is Oh, it's on the agenda. What have we got? Project Nebula and Gangster Bet. So we should have. There we go. Dan, welcome.
Yo, man. Good to see you.
Cool. No, same. Is the other guys jumping on as well? I know they were testing.
They're definitely here, in good spirit, and they're watching the show. But we didn't want to crowd the room up too much. I know we're sharing some spot with Gangster Bet here, so.
Okay, no worries. Cool. Okay, well, look, Dan. So you have been community man of many trades at Project Nebula. So, look, can you share with us a little bit with Icon 2.0? How's the team feeling with the upgrade? Are they excited with the possibilities BTP enables for Project Nebula? And at the same time, I'm going to ask you for some kind of exclusive. Like, there's 400 people on. They want to hear about Project Nebula. One person has won a spaceship. In fact, shall we kick off another draw while you're talking?
I think it would make sense to do a giveaway, yeah.
Yeah, another spaceship. Yep. Okay, I think so. So, you know what? This time, to qualify for the draw, I want you to name a planet and include your address, obviously. So, and the
Icon
coolest name, yeah, icon address. Not your. Yes, we'll mail a planet to your home, and it just comes through space. No, so name a planet and include your icon address, and the best name wins. And currently, we can kind of look at the comments, and while we're talking, see something that we like, and boom, decide. So go. Jupiter, I like that. Gold, Chris, gold. Okay, so Dan, while that's going on, tell us how you're feeling about this.
Yeah, I mean, for the Icon 2.0 side of things, it's all positive for us. From what we can see so far, we're super pumped about the whole interoperability thing. I'm still having trouble saying that word, but having one beer helps. And I think that the marketplace side of things is definitely gonna speed up for us. So we've got a lot of things coming up with smart contracts and whatnot in this Icon 2.0 stage that are all going to really benefit you guys as players and future players, of course, and us on our back end as well. It's really just a big positive, big boon. Yeah.
Hey, I'm putting you on the spot here, Dan.
Uh-oh.
Do you all have a way of checking currently, because of we're in series 2, or what is it? I forget the terminology, but 5,000 planets were, I guess, to be found exploring space. Do we know how far along we are in terms of how much has been discovered currently?
Yeah, we've got some really great people in our community. You can check nebulastats.com. We've got one guy in our group named Batitu. He's made this beautiful website. I think there's about 1,500 planets left. That's this private chat thing doesn't go away. That's a lot of planets. So there's plenty out there. And I think just the other day we had someone in Discord saying they were in a very early starting region of the game, and they discovered a rare rogue planet out there. So it's super cool. There's a lot of stuff that exists in a lot of places still, and actually we'll talk about it more today, but we're bringing even more stuff for players to do, new and old, so balance out that playing for everyone.
Cool. Planet Min was a suggestion just there. Kudos. That made me
That
laugh.
might
Yeah. Does it? Okay. Well, Icongrapher, you've been very quiet, man. I'm gonna drink some water here. Take over. He hinted at some alpha. I feel like he's itching to tell us some information.
Yeah. Is there any alpha you got for us?
Solid question. Yeah. Well, we sent out a teaser tweet. It's so hard to keep track of time. 2,000 light years away from you guys. We sent out a teaser tweet, I think, on last Friday. So every month or every week this month on Friday, we're going to be releasing a little bit more information inside of a Medium article. But what I want to expand on is all of that a little bit here. So we have a new faction coming into the game. This is the Terran faction. Though they've been mentioned in lore before, now they're going to have a little bit more gravitas. So we will actually be doing a ship sale at the end of November with a new fleet of ships, and it we'll introduce about half of them to you guys in a sale, and this will be the Terran Colonial Union ship fleet, which is going to be super exciting. This will be a really great way at a good point of entry to bring in new players, and it kind of curtails into the next. We're going to be doing missions as well for people. So whether you just started the game or whether you're, an old-time player, you'll be able to do missions for the Terran faction, some general missions as well. You'll discover these in the universe, both in starting and far out regions. And you can win everything by completing these, from consumables to an actual Terran ship. So we're actually going to be releasing some of our NFTs into the game as discoverable objects, even up to the point of being a functioning and operational spaceship. So that's super exciting. But if you want me to keep rambling on this alpha drop as you're talking about, yeah,
go for it. I did have one quick question. What's the how many of those Terran ships will be in existence?
Someone warned me, you might ask. We're going to do about half. We're going to drop about half, but we'll release the number of those ships a little bit closer to the sale.
Okay.
But it's definitely thought out and definitely positive for the Gen Zero fleet that came out.
Cool.
So,
all right. Well, you can, and then go ahead and continue your soliloquy there.
Yes. No, it's super exciting. I mean, you can't. I'm getting paid, but you can't pay me enough to talk about this. I'm super pumped. We do the IRC 31 multi tokens as well. So with this, with these missions and things, people will be able to find actual NFTs in the universe. This is all of this is a real step up towards crafting, which is our second expansion, correct? And this means that people with blueprints, people with consumables and things like this, the marketplace is now going to be able to explode with people finding, creating and selling and buying these things that are really going to enhance gameplay. Things you'll be able to craft, things you'll be able to use, things that put you farther out into the void. So with this multi-token support coming very soon, we're going to be doing quite a bit, and that marketplace will really change. I think I have one more thing.
Go for it.
It's another NFT, but I don't know if you've ever completed Fez, I know you're playing Project Nebula, which is super exciting. I don't know if you've ever 100% cleared a sector, but my laptop's going to die. I hope this is properly timed. We're going to give you the opportunity to turn that completed sector into a map that you can then sell to another player. So this will give existing players a reason to explore a bit more. This will give new players a way to have a reduced cost and full visibility of sectors so that they can move a bit further, faster. And while that might come at a price, it's there should be a pretty good balance there. So people will have a huge reason to cancel out this void, create more NFTs, put them into the marketplace, and give new players and even existing players a really cool way to move forward. So there's been a lot of fret that I get a rock, it's going to take me 40 years to find everything. And while mathematically that is actually true, now we can start introducing some more ways to balance it out through consumables and star mapping and things like this. So it's all super exciting. That's all coming by the end of the year.
Oh, wow.
Huge.
That'll keep you guys busy. Hopefully you at least get some time off for Christmas or something like that.
Yes.
And then I just want to make, I think we kind of take for granted and assume that everyone watching this right now has been paying attention to everything on Icon 100%. But in case there may be maybe new community members or something like that, can you just give a quick overview as far as how, if people hear like what they hear just now, how can they get involved and start playing Project Nebula, and what's the process for that? Even beginning with what website they need to go to.
For sure, you need to go to projectnebula.app. Pretty awesome. It's easy to remember, I think. And from there you can find plenty of resources for learning how to play the game, what's in the game, what you can expect, ways that we're going to be introducing play to earn aspects and things that exist already. And you can also click this big purple button there that says claim your first planet. So it'll take you right into the game. You can see the marketplace. And honestly, as long as you have an Icon X wallet, and we will support HANA as well in the near future, I believe, you'll have no problems. Seamless entry, and you get to make a cool display name. So far, they all seem pretty clean. Yeah, I mean, we have a low barrier as far as learning how to get into the game, and we have an amazing Discord community. So definitely join our Discord and chat with anyone. We have super helpful people in there, from Budweiser to you, Fez, and Iconographer. You guys have all had a big part in our community. So yeah, we're excited to have anyone join.
Yeah, I'm always conflicted because I like to spend time on as much time on Nebula as I can, because obviously it's part of the Icon ecosystem. But at the same time, I feel guilty because it's at the end of the day playing a game, and it doesn't feel like work. But I guess technically it is. So at least from my
if you make money,
that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
it could be. Well, if you're ultra savvy, it could be a nice little income stream for you.
Yeah, it's not so bad, and I think for most people, the average play time, if you log in a couple of times a day, you'll spend between 5 to 10 minutes at a time in there, clicking around, upgrading your planets, looking at your research, maybe scrolling through the marketplace to see what that mythic planet is still valued at, and doing some cool stuff. Try not to curse on your podcast. I'm sorry. That's our alpha, though. That's what we have from our side. Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
Awesome.
a moment of pause, but that is some serious alpha, and just everyone, enough names. That's great. We have we're gonna go draw Janet the Planet. Come on, Brian. There's some quality stuff being dropped here. Like, this is going to be a hard decision. We may have to team meeting this, pull everyone in, take a few days. No, I'm kidding. We'll have a winner soon. So, but Dan, some cool stuff. Really excited about the changes. I still do play it, and this is probably one of the reasons why I love it so much. Even if I don't find anything for a long time, which has happened for a little while. Although I did find a planet with Zeta particles in it. Surprised. So that was great. But you can literally play it for 10 minutes. Get everything out of the way, and then you don't look at it for another day. That's what I love about it. So these changes are exciting. Can't wait. Okay, Brian.
I do have to say one thing. I saw Eloisa in the chat when we started this session, but I got to thank the Icon Penis Guild for the shirts. They sent us some cool Icon shirts a long time ago, and some Project Nebula shirts as well. And they are the first, I would say, official guild in Project Nebula. They've been doing such amazing stuff. We're super pumped about it, and we're also taking a lot of what they're doing into consideration for some future, near future things. So I just wanted to shout out the Icon Penis community there, Jenny especially, and Jay. They're on top of their game, literally on top of our game, I should say.
Hey, kudos. I agree. This here is thanks to them. Just randomly message me. We want to send you, thank you, and all of a sudden I get a bag full of loot, and it was amazing. So yeah, love it. Couldn't agree more. So yeah, and they'll be on the show. Did I say that? Now I'm starting to get a little loopy. Forgive me, everyone, if I'm repeating myself, but they will be on the show soon. So excited to chat to them as well. Cool, Dan. That's brilliant. Love it. Feel free to hang out. Danielle's also here with us. I know we're running a little over time. I've noticed maybe a few of the guests have not shown. Maybe some of them are working on their nodes. Some of them are fast asleep. So that's okay, though. That we've still got their giveaways to give away.
Got to say that I thought we were sharing a spot here, and I'm a little bit bummed because I was excited to chat with some other people. But we wanted to shout out Gangstabet and congratulate them on their successful launch. It was really cool to see another NFT community pop up in such a strong way, and we're always thrilled when another NFT thing is going to come on to Icon, from Pixels to Gangstabet. It's really awesome to watch this community grow, and I know that from Spartan Craft this week, I've seen a couple collections pop up on Craft from another community of people that wanted to go to Polygon or wanted to go to Solana. So if you have these conversations with people, anyone out there, and encourage them to come to Craft where they're not going to have to fret about how much money they're spending to mint,
Mm.
I would say rock on and have that conversation, because it's a really easy sell, I think, these days.
Yeah. No, agree. I think in just before the show started, I realized I did not contact someone in the craft team to bring them on the show. How stupid of me! So apologies if they've tuned in. It was by no means anything personal. I was just scrambling. We were scrambling in the background trying to just get the event together. While we're here, have we got updates? Are we almost there? What's going on? Someone's meant to chime in, keep us updated. Maybe Brian.
I'll see if I can. I'll look on the various channels and see if I can find anything here.
Okay, great. And while we're and Dan, feel free to just hang out. Like, there's plenty of room now. So, Danielle, are you there?
I got to run on you, Fez, but
oh.
Yeah,
it's fine, man. No, you've hung out the whole time. No. Appreciate
Bartle
it.
and Holger and I and everyone over here at Project Nebula really appreciate it, and I look forward to an AMA with you, hopefully later this month.
Okay. Yes. Same. Looking forward to it. Take care. Okay. Next up, we have Danielle from Icon DAO. How are you, Danielle?
Hi, Fez. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here. Especially on the heel of the big BTP dashboard reveal that Icon Foundation just did. I think I speak on behalf of my team when I say that we were really, really proud of that. And we've been working really hard. So we're really excited that Icon chose today, your event, to sort of show what we've accomplished so far when it comes to BTP. Well, at least the BTP dashboard.
Yes, I know. I messaged you just before the show, and you were nervous. I'm telling you, I'm nervous, and I'm like, "What are you nervous about?" And you tell me the story. I'm like, "Oh, okay." But yeah, it was great. It was a hit. Even when I'd just seen it myself just before the show, and I thought it was fantastic. So definitely pass on to the team. I know Min hinted at it, beta. It will evolve, and that's natural. But even in its current form,
right?
Awesome. Love it.
Yeah, the feedback I saw in the comments was really good. A lot of people were excited about the UI, and they're really excited about, trying their hand at it to, get some assets over from Moonbeam. So, yeah, you can look out for that. It's in the near future.
Yeah. Excellent. So, Danielle, how's the team? What's the vibe like? I mean, y'all have been building an Icon for a while. This Icon 2.0, what are you feeling?
I guess if I were to sum it up really quickly, I would say cautious but confident, maybe. This is a completely new zone for us, for all of us, for all P-Reps, for Icon team, for the Icon community. So it's been a long process, and we've been there for many years. We've been P-Reps for a long time now. So I think we're just very excited that now we've gotten to a place where Icon is really putting on some running shoes, and we're starting to get to a place where we're finally delivering on what we said we're going to deliver in the white paper, and the whole community can sort of see and take part in this new era for Icon. So our team sentiment right now is pretty good. We're excited. Earlier we spoke, I did say I was a little bit nervous, but that just comes with the territory. Like, everyone's going to be nervous whenever we have a new project coming out. So yeah, we're excited, we're cautious, but we're very confident. We're always working, always trying to find new things to contribute to the Icon ecosystem. Yeah. So yeah, we're feeling pretty good, pretty excited.
Good. I just want to pause quickly. So we have a winner. I showed it on the screen. So Eward van der Werf. Congratulations. I mean, yeah, love it. Planet Icon. Great. So we've noted it down. You win a spaceship as well, and we've got the address now. Again, please remember, everyone, the Project Nebula spaceships will be at the end of November when they do their next launch and their next series when the spaceships launch, and that's when we'll send it through all the winners for the spaceships.
And I I just want to say I just got a message, or a little bit ago, Elise messaged saying we're going to attempt to start the chain in 10 minutes. So that was 3 minutes ago. So 7 minutes from now, they're going to take another crack at it. I know they were trying to do some troubleshooting with some P reps. We're still continuing that process. So hopefully within a few minutes here, we're good to go. I know I keep seeing comments, people saying they're, someone was trying to play Project Nebula and it wouldn't work, or other issues. And that's just because the chain is still technically offline, but hopefully in a few minutes, that'll be all resolved.
Hey, I congratulate. Yes, we should have mentioned that. That's probably one thing we didn't say at all. Like, yes, during the upgrade, there is outages. There's been tweets for all the dApps. They're all going to be out during this transition. So just keep that in mind. That's why nothing's. But do come back. Don't let this, sway you from trying Project Nebula or all the other dApps we've talked about. So set your alarms when we're.
Brian just said attempting to start chain in 1 minute, so we're ahead of schedule, relatively speaking.
Excellent. So Danielle, while we're waiting, is there anything you want to talk about as a project, or with Icon 2.0? I mean, I guess your alpha really did drop, didn't it? I mean, Nexus was your alpha. It's your team's hard work.
Right. But it's not our only project, as you know. So our developers, we're gonna keep working on BTP and supporting BTP and the different components of it. So Nexus, or that's the name we're currently working with, but according to the Icon team, they may change it later on. But yeah, we're just gonna be working on continuing to support BTP. There's so much that we can do with the protocol. Other chains we can integrate, we can enhance the protocol later on. So I think in the near future, you can expect us to drop BTP, drop the dashboard. On the commercial front, we have Optimus. That's on the final leg right now. We're just waiting on the mainnet launch of Icon 2.0. What else? We also have our hackathon coming up for Devera. As you know, our team, we do a Icon Programming University course at Vietnam National University. We're hoping to expand the project to be accessible globally online by way of online content, or our Icon Hackathon. So our Icon Hackathon is entitled Blockathon Expansion 2.0, and it'll be geared towards expanding Icon's ecosystem post this upgrade, of course. And it's going to be launching actually in 7 days. We're going to be launching the hackathon on November 10th. So we're hoping that we can sort of get more developers coming into Icon right on the heel of the mainnet launch. So we're hoping everything goes really well tonight. They said in the mainnet chat that we're going to be going live soon. So yeah, we're just hoping everything goes well with that. And yeah.
Yep. No, great. That's y'all are doing not just building, trying to expand the devs community as well, which is fantastic. And yeah, it's good stuff, Danielle. Really excited to have Icon DAO on board doing everything y'all are doing.
Yeah, I think it's just like our team goal has always been to sort of create like building blocks where other developers can utilize and build their own decentralized projects, or projects that sort of have like a DAO model to them, or some sort of DAO-like feature. So our work with Icon, with BTP and the BTP dashboard, that was demoed earlier, that's sort of part and parcel to what we're trying to accomplish for the Icon ecosystem. We just want to sort of show developers that Icon, with these new Icon 2.0 features, is a formidable option for their projects. And hopefully they're going to flock to Icon, and it'll become home to a flurry of new projects in the future post-launch. So yeah, this is a major turning point for our network, especially on the developer front.
Yes, excellent. Great to hear. I love that on the developer front. That's brilliant. We also have any word, Brian? Has there been any updates?
No, I'll sound some sirens off or something like that once I'm sure the information will flow either from Brian or Elise or both. So I'll just start screaming or something.
Cool. If Arcade Node and Robbie and Icon Penis are listening, Jay and Jen, please feel free to jump on. I know we're running a bit over. But yeah, join in on the fun. I think we got Parrot9, and just before I throw to you, let's do another giveaway quickly. There's so much stuff. This is the problem, everyone has been so kind, and managing the actual giveaways is another component in itself. Let's give away NFT Chef. So there's one NFT. It's a BTP donut. That's why you saw me doing this, because I thought a donut. Excellent. Oh, there we go on the screen. Boom. That's what you're winning. So same as before, need your wallet, and this time, you know what? Tell me your favorite donut you like to eat, and we'll pick a winner. Go. I think, I don't know, everywhere we'll have different donuts. So hit us with some donuts. In the meantime, while that's happening, we'll throw to Parrot9. Who have we got? Have we got Peter and Lisa?
Hey, yeah, we're both here.
Hey, how are we?
Not too bad. Peter's been up since 2 a.m. trying to deal with that network upgrade, so
A little bit tired.
feeling a little bit for you as well, Fizz, knowing how early it is.
Yeah, I don't know
Yes.
how you're doing it, eh?
I
He's
don't
running
know.
on pure.
either.
I think he's on pure adrenaline by now.
I got a bowl of lollies, and I said, this will keep me away. I've eaten one so far, so yes.
Fasting as well.
So how are we? How are y'all been feeling about the upgrade? Is there? You keep hinting you're working on this project. Is this project that you've been working on a little bit in terms of no announcements come out because we're waiting for Icon 2.0 and BTP? Is there some connection there, or am I just grasping at straws?
We're waiting for something, but it wasn't 2.0.
Okay.
But I don't know if we can say anything more without giving it away, because I don't know.
Yes, still in the works for now.
Yes.
One of the difficult things being creative is there are a lot of other projects that we like to work on the sidelines, but Jakey and Scott keep us fairly busy on Almond Balance, so certainly not our main focus right now.
Cool. And that's fine. I'm terrible. I shouldn't probe that much without giving you warning before the show. But from Scott mentioned about Bridge. So are you all involved in any of that component? I know, Lisa, I reached out to you because I actually finally used it, and I came at you because I wanted to know how you were feeling about the disconnect currently when it broke out of Bridge and you had to use Stably. Are you all working on that integration point as well?
Not too actively at the moment, but before we go any further, I'm not sure if you've seen the chats, but it looks like Icon 2.0 is live.
Yeah, Icon 2. Yep, there it is. Brian only texted us about 600 times saying it's live. So
I'm trying not to interrupt Fizz.
No, I was so in my rambling mode. Oh wow, okay, so this is it. I hadn't prepared for this. What do we do? I can graph a song, a dance. Yeah.
I don't know. I wish there was like a little fireworks emoji button or something like that, but probably not on this. But I think everyone will just feel all the enthusiasm over all the networks and everything, all the social networks and everything like that. So, and I'll put a tweet out just to further exclaim things.
Cool. So it's live and everything's running smoothly, no hiccups. I don't know. I haven't gone to check a DApp, but I guess it'll be out for a little while. That's great. Cool. Finally. And it happened while we're on the live stream. I was a bit paranoid that this may not, and the live stream may drag on for 5 hours. By then we're all asleep. Everyone's just tuning in to watch half the Icon builders and to people just fast asleep on the live stream. Anyway, back to you, Peter. Lisa, you were saying?
Yeah, so at the moment, some of the developers are working with Stably to integrate the deposit and withdrawal flow directly into Bridge. And so that should make it a lot smoother. We haven't been working too actively on it at the moment, but yeah, we'll definitely be providing plenty of feedback to make sure it's as smooth as it can possibly be with this new integration.
Cool. Love it. Excellent. Thanks for joining as well. I can see... Max, I can see you there. Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but you're not coming up on the screen. What's going on? Oh, there we go. Yeah.
How's it going, guys?
Good. So do you want to this is your first time on the show, but I think even apart from a couple of tweets, exposure to the ecosystem in general, to the community. Do you want to give us a bit of a blurb, who you are, what Arcade Node's about?
Yeah, happy to. we're the new kids on the block. It's great meeting all of you guys. I was just a community member. I've been an Icon investor since 2018, I think. I've just been believed in the project for a long time, and we launched Arcade Node PREP out of the Reddit community, our Hello Icon community, answering a need, I think, that people were saying that we need to have more community initiative driven marketing. And so that's basically what we do. Our two goals is to educate and recruit top flight talent onto the Icon ecosystem and to market Icon in its various dApps in innovative ways. So I went to NYU. I'm based in New York. I'm going to Columbia currently. So a lot of our initiatives are going to be around universities in the New York area to begin with, but I'm really excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I love this part. I know I'm going to have you, have you on Iron Icon, and we'll do a separate interview, but to explore, because you're kind of tackling marketing, but you're through universities and stuff, trying to get a different type of crowd involved into it, which I'm really keen to hear you deep dive and some of the plans you'll have in place.
Yeah, I think the first thing that we can kind of tease out is that we're going to do a panel for BTP, hopefully with Scott, and it will be for Columbia and NYU and Fordham, and that's going to be in mid-November. It's going to be an education panel, and hopefully serve as a recruitment platform as well for our University Alliance series, which is basically just like a brand ambassador internship program for the Icon Network through these colleges. So yeah, that'll be the first thing to look out for. I'm sure we'll post it on YouTube or wherever.
Yep, awesome. Looking forward to it. Thanks, Max.
Yep.
Okay, Lisa, Peter, just coming back to you. Is there anything else you want to talk about or say or mention? I feel I didn't give you all enough time to talk.
This is kind of an off-topic question, but I've always wanted to know, is it iconographer or iconographer?
It's whatever your imagination wants it to be. There's no correct answer.
See, I've always thought iconographer, so whenever Fezza said iconographer, it's always kind of tweaked me the wrong way. I can never quite work out which one it is.
It's a tomato
Content note to be coming up.
Just actually, it was the first question I asked him as well. I was like, "How do I say your name?" Because I was stressing so much about it. And then now I can't, even if I have to say it. Iconograph. Oh yes, yeah, I can't. It's my speech. So I just go with my own way. And when I tried to say it the other way, Icon's price tanked. So I figured it was bad mojo, and I'll stick to my way, and it's established. And so good question though. We were gonna do an exclusive NFT series with the reveal on that one, but there wasn't much of a story to tell.
That would have been fun though.
Yeah.
So I guess one kind of question I have is what, as far as element balance are concerned, how much, what's kind of as far as interface upgrades and things like that, what's taking up the most of your time and energy at the moment?
So I'd say for that, the boosted balance functionality was a big one. So we're just finalizing that at the moment. So that did require quite a big upgrade, just kind of making staking more front and center as opposed to being just hidden away in the wallet. And so we've just kind of like rearranged a few of the elements and put the wallet up in the drop down, up in the top right, just to make it accessible from every page as well. So that has been quite a big one, just to try to make the boosted balance staking work in a way that's not going to be overly complicated, which was quite a task in itself. So yeah, that's been our main one for balanced. And now we're also working on custom liquidity pools. So we're going to include the option in the UI for anyone to be able to list their own liquidity pools. So any new assets that want to be added to balance, they don't have to go through the balance team. They can just add them in the UI themselves. So we'll have a preview of that when we share our next roadmap update next week.
Awesome. That'll be, I think that's something people are looking forward to, just because I think, we have so many different tokens out there these days that people, I'm sure some of them people can't figure out a way to trade them. I think like GangstaBet would be a good example. I know there's a process being built out for that. but I think that'll be obviously the tricky part is making sure it's one thing to launch a coin, it's one thing to launch a pair or a pool. It's another to have enough liquidity to fill it. But either way, I think giving people that opportunity should be nice for both the users and for the Balance protocol as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely. So like there are two main things that we think at the moment that will really increase usage of the platform. And one is obviously listing as many assets on the exchange as we can. And the other is adding new collateral types. So by having the custom liquidity pool UI, it will allow us to at least add a lot more functionality to the piece that's already driving the most transactions on Balance, the most revenue. So the more pairs we add, the better, really. And so we'll just also release some guidance along with that to help people know when they should be listing pairs, so they're not diluting them too much by listing a pair for SICX and against BNUSD, and like just having too many pools, like because that will limit the liquidity of it as well. So yeah, good times ahead for Balance.
And I want to give an update on the 2.0. So I'm kind of monitoring things here. And so it is live. Blocks are being produced, but it is not yet available for public. So that it seems very, very close yet. But just want to make that technical point just because I see people kind of asking about it. I see someone commenting saying seems to be up now. So I don't know. Just want to give an update on that because that information was kind of popping around there.
It's a good one. And just quickly, we have, contest is done. A winner just got drawn. Who have we got? It is Longest Night and Chocolate Devil's Food Cake. Congrats, we have your address. This one we will get out to you in the next couple of days after we get some sleep and wake up, and yeah, we'll get this NFT out. I think we'll kick off another draw as well. We have our next round of guests waiting to join, so I just want to quickly do a round table. Arush, you can stay on since you haven't even opened your mouth yet. Danielle, anything else you want to add before you jump off?
Congratulations, everyone. Congratulations to Icon team, Icon community, and my fellow Icon P-Reps. This is truly a very momentous occasion for us. We've reached the pinnacle of what we're hoping for Icon, and it's only up from here, guys.
Great. Agree. Lisa, Peter, anything from your end?
Yeah, I guess we'll just echo what Danielle said, and really excited to see what's going to happen from here. The future for Icon, I think, is very bright, so we're excited to see what's in store.
Cool. Excellent. Max?
Yeah, just excited to see what the next year brings, and hopefully we can grow as a community. It's going to be great.
Cool. Excellent. Okay. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for taking the time to come on the show. I know it's at odd hours everywhere around the world, but I really appreciate it. And I'm sure the community, I know the community appreciates it as well. So thank you. Let's bring on our next round of guests. Okay, who have we got? I know we've had a bit of a time and it could be running a bit late. So let's bring on Jenny. I'll click them in. Jay. Robbie, you can come in as well. That's everyone. Cool. If there's anyone listening who was meant to join and they were getting blocked, there are now some spots available. So feel free to join. Welcome, Jay, Robbie, Jenny. How are y'all?
Hey, Fez. Good morning to you.
Morning.
Hey there.
Yes.
Hey, Fez. Good to be here. Nice looking shirt, by the way.
Thank you. Kudos to you. Thank you.
Fez, when the live turned on and I saw your T-shirt, I just want to scream. No, just kidding.
No, today I didn't care. Even if it was cold, I was going to put it on
good.
and just shiver because, I wanted to make sure I was representing.
That's nice. Well, thank you for inviting us. I'm really glad to be here.
No, we're happy to have you on board, and I think this is great because Jenny, Jay, y'all do a ton of stuff. Like people may not even realize it, but you've been creating a lot of the graphics and things like that in the background for a long time now for Icon, haven't you?
Yeah, we try to be a little bit more low key about it, I guess. Flying under the radar because there's so much great stuff being put out from the Icon devs, and we want to promote that. Like the objective isn't to put branding on the content we're doing, because at the end of the day, it's for Icon, it's for the community. So the best feeling in the world for us really is if somebody takes a liking to some of the animations or graphics and they're actually using it, whether retweeting it or as a profile picture or on Telegram, or making like GIFs out of it. So at the end of the day, that's what gets us the most excited, like when the content's actually being used by the Icon community.
Yep, agree. I know at times you'll have released stuff and I hit Jen up, can you send me that icon? Because I want to use it in an animated video. So yeah. And while we're talking now, y'all have taken charge of the HX57 program, haven't y'all?
Yes, that is correct. So we are actually helping and working with actually Jen and Elise. So yeah, we've been working side by side, almost talking like every day. So just like, we just really wanted to get contents from the ISEX community, because as as one of the marketing team, we know that there's a lot of people out there that are really, really good with graphics, with articles, and we understand that HX57 just kind of started, but we are very, very glad, to get all those contents and entries. So, it was pretty exciting, and we are glad to be working with them.
Yeah, awesome. We're loving the program so far, and hopefully more collaboration. So if you're listening, teams that are listening, I know a lot of the PREP teams are listening. You got protocols and things like that. Get in touch. Now we have the big reveal with Elise and Jen, and then we have Jen. Get in touch, and they can create teas around this. That's the whole point. It's not about just servicing anyone's one particular area. It's about actually servicing all our dApps and encouraging community members and other community members to start making content, and they can earn such. Who doesn't like earning some money for making content? I know I do. So yeah, get
I think
behind it.
it's like the best time and opportunity to get out your contents and your entries out there and actually earn,
Exactly.
Yeah, I would just add it's been a really great experience, because with HX57, there's really something for everyone. Just like, for example, it gives a platform for, people like Digital Dave, who's done a really, outstanding job with creating a lot of the threads on Twitter. And then, like even Brian submitted like, the top winning, entry in the last event, and then it's really awesome because for each person you can find a prompt that best suits you. And for Gangsta Bet, the community as a whole just kind of went like crazy with it, and there was just so many cartoon strips and GIFs and memes and like what have you. It was just really, really awesome to see that. And it's funny because like we're like the HX57 team, they're trying to pick select the winners for the most recent event, and it's not easy because there's so much like great content being put out.
Yeah, there was a ton for Gangsta Bet. I know. Agree, it would be hard. That's where you have the screening night, right? Everyone gets together and you just start wave after wave and vote on it. Cool. Okay. We also have thanks guys. If we also have Robbie. Robbie, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi there. So my name is Robbie. I'm the tech lead of the Protocol 7. We are a Slovenian team that has been recently assembled. We've been in Icon for some time, but now we gathered our experiences and development resources to establish the PREP. Right now, we are the most known by our contribution to the OMM. So we are the front-end engineering team of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's briefly about us.
Excellent. And Robbie, are you still working? You and your team still working on OHM, or are you moving on to another protocol in the Icon ecosystem?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we are still working on OMM, of course, on all the new stuff that's coming, also implementing stuff approved in the proposals. Besides that, we are also working hard on our roadmap for the next year, especially. So right now we are kind of exploring the ways how to help existing DeFi protocols like OMM to accumulate their own liquidity. So one of the popular ways to do that is through the bonding mechanisms, like if anyone heard about the Olympus Pro. It's that way you can buy your favorite DeFi tokens at discounted rate and help the protocol to accumulate their own liquidity, which in the end it's good for both because it increases the stability and security from the bank run. So yeah, that's basically what we are now focused the most. We are also looking forward to BTP to then see how we can extend that bonding protocol also to the other chains and aggregate the liquidity on Icon.
Robbie, like, out of the blue, Serious Alpha right there. This is the terminology used in DeFi 2.0. What Olympus and they are doing, it's labeled DeFi 2.0, and your team is already exploring that for the Icon ecosystem, which is brilliant.
Exactly. Like you said, it's a new trend in DeFi. It's called, like you said, DeFi 2.0. It's very exciting, and thus it's also why we decided to go for it. To not battle the existing grounds, but try to go for something fresh. So we are now in the phase of exploring, planning, estimating, and so on. So soon we will start tweeting out information on how and why we have decided for something. So yeah, stay tuned. It's going to be
Awesome.
exciting.
Awesome. Love it. Thank you. That's brilliant. I didn't even know this was happening in the background. This is something every Icon should be excited about, and this is where I always feel Icon has had this little advantage in not first. However, we look at what comes out and we analyze it, and then we put in our own variation implementation of it with excellent UI. So it's just usable instantly and doesn't need this whole lot of learning curve around it. So, Robbie, hopefully we stick to that ethos, and that's what comes off DeFi 2.0 on Icon. Exciting times. So just let's do another draw, raffle, win. What is it called? Iconography. You need to start helping me, man. I'm sorry. Sleep's kicking in. We've got our next wave of guests as well. So before we go, Jay, Jenny, is there anything you want to talk about? Drop some news before I thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, well, of course, thank you so much again for inviting us. And yeah, I just want to mention the Project Nebula Guild that we are doing. So we currently have like 2 graduates for now, and we're aiming like 6 more. So yeah, hopefully we'll get more like people joining in. So of course that's always our goal, since like NFT is like really huge here, like play to earn games is really huge here in the Philippines. So that's what we are like, aiming here with the Project Nebula Guild. And of course, shout out to Project Nebula because they are very, very, very like supportive to our guild. So hey, hold Jordan and the rest of the team. Thank you guys.
Yes. No, loving that stuff. And yeah, Dan, I don't know if you heard him on the show. That's what he said. A huge shout out to y'all
He
for doing
did.
everything. Yeah. So, great to hear. Cool. Okay. Thank you for coming on. Let's bring on our next wave of guests. We'll drop them in, but just before we start chatting to them, Brian, otherwise we'll never get through all these giveaways. Do we want to do your giveaway? I hope I get this right. Don't kill me if I don't. Tamashi. Is that how I say it? Yes, this. So, yeah, he confirms. Okay, so this is NFT. I believe these a couple have dropped so far, and they've sold out. So people are really enjoying this series. Well done, Brian, and whoever you've worked with to do this. So for this one, what innovative way shall we compete in? Look, I think let's create a craze, a Tamashi craze, and Tamashi, name it, and your wallet address, go, and start putting comments in, and we will announce the winner soon. Let's bring on. Okay, so I'll bring on Arun. Let's tag a few people in. No need for anyone to sit in the waiting room. I think you all can have your time on. Oh, Brian, are you meant to be on? Sorry if I accidentally ticked you on. We've also got Token Tech Guy, and we've got Digital Dave. Thank you. Okay, so let me quickly do a round of intros. We've got Trevor and Arun from Coda. We've got Andrew from Rhizome and Token Tech Guy. And then we've got Arush from the Monk Academy. We also have Digital Dave, who just keeps dropping wave after wave of knowledge via tweets. So I said, you just have to be on the show. So here he is. So guys, thank you for coming on the show. Thanks for hanging in the background. And here we are, Icon 2.0. How y'all feeling? Don't everyone speak up. Arun, I'll throw it to you.
It's really exciting. It's a great day for Icon. Really happy to be included here. We've been chugging away at Coda, and I'm sure Trevor and Brian can speak to that as well. Yeah, it's an exciting day for us too. So it's let's call it an auspicious day here. Really happy to be a part of it. Thanks, Fez.
No, great. Trevor, since we're on the Coda train, how you been?
Good, and like Arun said, we've been chugging away, and one of our fearless leaders, Arun and Brian. But it's super exciting. 2.0, been talking about it a long time. It's finally here, and so we can really start to launch stuff. We've like everyone else here, we've been kind of like waiting. We had to put some stuff on pause. But now that it's finally here, it's going to be awesome. So exciting times ahead.
And look, Iconograph for takeover. I need to have some water. Too much talking. Let's say.
Well, as far as from a development standpoint, obviously, everyone's got kind of their hand in things. What do you guys kind of most for those who have developed, from a developer's perspective, what are you most excited about as far as what Icon 2.0, what doors it can open up and things like that?
Should I answer this?
Yeah, I think the writer of the 2.0 article is in prime position to answer that.
Well, I guess the most exciting thing about Icon 2.0 is it's finally in a place where I think it can be adopted by the mainstream. I think the previous version, which was written in Python, I don't know if it would have survived under like the mainstream load. If you're
just from a scaling perspective.
Yeah. Like if you're dealing with like thousands of transactions per second, certainly I don't think Icon 1.0 ever dealt with that kind of scale. But with the launch of BTP and all of these new DeFi platforms and dApps that are launching, I think that kind of scale is within the realm of within the next year, I would say. So that's definitely the most exciting thing from my perspective.
Well, that's certainly encouraging. I remember a little while ago, this is a long while ago, someone was talking about, I can't remember what it was, but it was kind of like feeling that, okay, this whatever the news was will be, open for crazy mainstream adoption. And I remember you kind of chimed in at one point saying like, yeah, I don't think the chain is geared for, hundreds of thousands or maybe millions of transactions a day. So good to hear that you're now with 2.0, we're not on that situation anymore, that the gates are open to lots of transactions. Obviously having ICE as a side chain as well should help things in terms of alleviating some additional stress on the core chain, I guess you could say.
Indeed. Exciting times.
Anyone else have any perspective as far as why you're specifically excited about 2.0?
I think it's just going to be easier to onboard non-crypto types, like as we're able to expand, and that's something obviously like Coda we're working with. Interacting with all these artists, they're just they're just getting comfortable with Web 2.0 and how to best utilize it. So to be able to come in here and come into this space, that's what's really exciting, because there's a lot of them out there. They can greatly benefit from what Icon has to offer, and I think this will just make it easier to kind of bring them into this ecosystem. And I also want to thank other people who've done a great job of bringing people into the ecosystem. We've got Twitter and YouTube Royalty, with Fez and Digital Dave on here, so making it easier. And I think with Icon 2.0, with all these projects that are ongoing, Balance Dome, and then upcoming like Coda and other apps, I think that's what's going to be a game changer, and like be very useful for both the digital world and the physical world.
So oh, my voice is completely gone. But while we're on the topic of, I know. While we're on the topic of Coda, so it keeps evolving, doesn't it? So right now, where we are, from just having a bit of look at the white paper and things like that, it's evolving into. Does someone want to? I don't want to say it. Does someone want to say what it's evolving into and what the end plan is? Like it's almost what you're designing at the moment will be. A majority of the crowd won't know they're even using blockchain in the background to that things are transacting via the blockchain. It'll be a very front heavy, smooth experience for the everyday user.
Fez, we could tell you or we could show you, Brian. I think.
Geez, okay, yeah, okay. Well, shut me up. Go.
Well, I think we give a bit of context first, because I think a lot of people probably don't know much about the project. We've been we've been a bit tight-lipped about it, just because, I feel like I'm not the person to try to hype up stuff too much before it's real, unlike most projects in 2017. So, Coda started off as like the idea of a blockchain project that targets people in the arts to help them in some way. So that was kind of the seed back last year sometime. And then we got this great team together, me, Drew, Trevor, and then Arun joined us most recently. And it evolved from a project targeting who is that?
I think I can grab your microphone.
Yeah, I'll mute him for a second. Okay, good. All right. So it evolved as a project that was targeted towards musicians to now that it's targeting more of a general creator space. And the overall goal for it is actually to build an alternative economy for people in the arts, because the use case is certainly there. If you know anything about the music world, just the art world, kind of in general, it's very exploitative. Just a lot of entities exist between the fan and the artist, and kind of each layer takes their cut. So when I say their cut, I mean their cut in fees. So there's a lot of room there to replace a lot of those middlemen, if not all of them, with smart contracts on the Icon platform. And the first product that we're building is a ticketing system, because in order to in order to have an economy, you need some kind of cash flow, you know. So we see that ticketing is kind of an industry that is rife for disruption, just from is ripe for blockchain disruption. Like if you think about ticketing, you think about people scalping tickets, people doing some kind of ticket fraud. So these two huge things are already things that blockchain can address to a certain extent, you know, so kind of controlling the market for tickets with smart contracts. You can build in all of the rules and all the thresholds and stuff, and things along those lines. So that's what we're doing.
Show us.
Before I do that, did you have anything else to add, either Arun or Trevor? I don't want to. I'm sure you guys have things to say.
Just quickly on my side, Brian, thanks for the introduction. Again, everyone, thanks for having us here. Yeah, we've done a lot of market research, and we actually interviewed. Sorry, we didn't interview. We surveyed 100 fans, you know, across the country, across the world. Some of you might have gotten that survey link. We surveyed 50 artists, and there's a huge gap between what incumbent players, just with respect to ticketing, charge fans, and what fans are actually willing to pay, and what and kind of the fact that they just have to go along with it because there's no better option out there. So we're really happy that the assumptions we had were proven, and we're looking forward to building all that knowledge into kind of the first iteration of Coda. Trevor, you want to say anything?
Yeah, I guess one other thing. So just in PREP land, it was Tempo. It's now Coda. I don't know if that's fully through. So if you're hunting around for Coda, I don't know. Brian, is that transaction complete?
Yeah. The name
Perfect.
change was completed. Yes.
Excellent. Yeah. And so, yeah, I think that was a really solid overview, because what we wanted to do was just make sure we were actually solving a problem for artists. And so even several months ago, when we were first looking at other elements, like such as rights and streaming royalties, thinking of like Spotify, and we ran around and we interviewed off the record a bunch of artists. And it turns out the thing everyone was saying wasn't actually their main issue. It wasn't their biggest barrier. And so we got access to this community. We got access to this great technology and this this wonderful team. And so we narrowed it in. It's not the only area we'll focus on, but we're really focusing in on ticketing because we think that's the maximum impact. And it's just a great use for blockchain. It's designed for this. I mean, we literally already have ticket fees, like it's already built in there. And I think like some of the transformative nature of what we can offer to a lot of these artists when they're not getting ripped off by fees, it's easier to use, and there's other like components of like actually being a DAO. We like Arun said, we've done like a lot of market research. We've interviewed people. We've looked at all of the competitive landscape, and even in the blockchain space, there's about a dozen other ticketing things out there. They're not doing what we're doing. I think they all entered in. They're all very level one, stage one ideas, and I think what Icon can offer. And the vision we've kind of set up, just being artist. I mean, Drew can't be here because he's literally performing right now. He's in a rehearsal. He's sitting at the stand. So we really want this to be actionable in the real world and to provide value to these artists, because once they see the dollar signs coming in, once their life is easier, once they're able to put on some more shows or put on performances themselves, less middlemen, they're going to be here to stay and they're going to be part of the community. And so I think it is a great opportunity to onboard people through Coda.
Cool. So
yeah, so I'm not sure if you guys can see this. I think so.
Yeah.
In terms of progress, we've completed an initial set of smart contracts, and we're waiting to kind of test those. It'll be easier to test those once Icon 2.0, is live and running, which it is now. And yeah, so we'll be working on testing those smart contracts, and we've been working on some front end mockups, which you can see. And over the next few weeks, I'm going to be linking parts of this front end over to our smart contract backends in order to demonstrate a prototype of how this would work. Like if you notice, we're trying to design the app in a way that's very accessible to people who are not in crypto. So instead of using terms like yield or something, we're saying earn. Like something as basic as that does go a long way. And to design an app in this way is not possible on many blockchains, actually. But it is possible to do on Icon because of things like Bridge, which offload the management of the private key over to a third party. So people can just log in with an email address like they're used to doing on Facebook and other apps. So yeah, I think 2022 is going to be a great year for our team over here and for our app. And we're just super excited to build this alternative economy and also give the community the ability to own a part of this economy. Very exciting.
Awesome. Love it. You hit a couple of pitches from me. I hadn't seen the first one before, so yes. Oh, well done. Well done.
People. That's a good, really good looking app. Good job.
You sound like a Terminator.
So, Brian, do you want to call the winner?
Yes. The winner is, this is for the Tamashi NFT. The winner is Big Floater. I don't know what that means, but it's Big Floater.
Congrats.
And we have his ICX address.
Awesome. Noted. That should get sent out in the next couple of days as well. Great. So, guys, thank you. We spent a bit of time on Coda. Really appreciate a bit more context and constantly hearing how it's evolving. And I love how the UI is looking. Very much crypto what that's how I see it, and which is a good thing. And I know it's very big in Brian's mind always. Like anything in the side when I talk to Brian about, he's always, how can we move it into this, which is that it strips out all the jargon and just from a UI perspective looks like a normal app like everyone would use, and that's the end goal. So well done.
Thanks,
Digital
man.
now. No worries. I think Arush and Digital Dave have been waiting in the background silently. Arush, you've been waiting the longest, so it's your time. How are you going?
I'm good. Thank you for having me, Fez, and great launch party. Congratulations. It's been fantastic.
Cool. I appreciate you joining, man. Digital Dave, how you going?
Oh, I'm going great. I've got blisters on my fingers of typing up the quotes that were dropped during the main panel discussion, and thought I had to get it out there, give people something to read and to share in the next 2 weeks while they all patiently wait for BTP to arrive. That dashboard, that Nexus dashboard leak, drop, whatever you want to call it, that was insane. That looks so good. And that is the first piece of content we've seen with literally the names of two different blockchains in the same little UI interface, where you say, okay, let's do ICX icon towards, I don't know, Moonbeam.
Yes.
It's there and it's close, and that's exciting. So I love doing all that. But how are you? You don't look sleepy.
No, now it's starting to hit. It's starting to hit. Slowing down.
We can. What point are we of the show? Look, we can keep it short for me.
Oh, no,
I
I
don't
think
mind.
no, this was it. Like, I think I don't believe there's any more. Everyone's come on. This was a send off. Where Icon 2.0 was launched. I know we didn't even get through half the giveaways. I knew this would happen, and I think we won't just keep throwing giveaways for the sake of it. So we'll save it for either give it back to our sponsors or save it for another major event as a thank you. But just a shout out Sorry, Digital Dave, didn't mean to take over, but again, I've got a sponsors, and we haven't given away Pink Punks, Icon Droid, Cryptalien. Who else haven't we? Deep Arts Club. Like, thank you so much for just giving your hard work to the show. I'm sorry we haven't raffled it away, but I've made it a point to constantly show your names and call it out as well. So thank you for that. But yeah, no, Digital Dave, feel free to keep sharing. I can't wait for your tweets to come out around all of this. It'll be exciting and to get it out to the community.
Is the
appreciate you doing all the appreciate you doing all the live tweeting too. I know I've done that before. It's not easy and not necessarily fun, but obviously it's really helpful way to for people who aren't tuned in or anything like that. A good way to help promote what's going on and everything like that. So that is appreciated.
You're still the Terminator.
Thanks, Icon Grapher. I did get that, and I enjoyed live tweeting that. I wasn't supposed to be doing that. I was supposed to be listening and enjoying it. But then I thought, you know what? These are all the main faces here. They're dropping quotes. Why not put it out there as we go? You do sound like a Terminator stuck in between two blockchains at the moment. So maybe some extra batteries for that headset. I was just wondering, Fez, is the recording of this session gonna appear online for us to check out at a later point and to distill what's been said after the main panel, whenever Project Nebula came on and all the others?
Well, full confession, it's a live stream on YouTube, so fingers crossed it automatically saves. I haven't done any other kind of recording. God, this kind of
it should save.
Yeah, it should save. Yeah, there we go. So it's actually just at the moment we're up to 1,982 views, with a peak of 568 at one time. However, people have obviously been watching it in the background on delay, so close to 2,000 people have already watched it.
That's awesome.
Congratulations, well done.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah, Digital Dave, for a second, I thought Digital Dave was running a bot or something, because he was just live. Everything was just going on time, all the tweets.
Oh, I'm an efficient digital entity. Don't worry about that.
I didn't even know you were so zoned in. I didn't know there was tweeting going on. I will have to catch up to everything. We also have Donnie. Donnie, welcome. So as everyone knows, Donnie pulls together all our news and stuff in the background and has been consistently helping out Ion Icon. So welcome, Donnie.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. I had a couple of questions for the Coda crew. I was hoping to get some insight if they're gonna help people, protect their masters and not, protect themselves from these big, these from the music industry, as some people come in and buy someone's first original songs and just exploit them. So I was hoping that maybe you could do like an NFT and, make it attractive to come to the Icon network, but maybe Brian could shed some light on that or not.
Yeah, I think our initial focus is to start to drive cash flow as quickly as possible. So we'll be doing that with the ticketing platform. The whole music NFT thing. I'm not really sold on it because so much of the music infrastructure depends on centralized apps now, and if you don't get buy-in from those kinds of apps, it's very hard to take off. So we're hoping to build up cash flow, which will in turn attract more people to join the community, more people to join the token, and then we'll be able to leverage that as a DAO to hopefully make bigger moves. And because everyone's trying to improve the system now, everyone's trying to improve the music world with various Band-Aid kind of techniques. I'm of the opinion that it's kind of time to just move on to a different system instead of trying to fix the old one. So that's kind of the mindset that we're taking with this. So doing what we can first. We do have a vision of what we feel is like an ideal relationship between fans, between people in the arts, all the stakeholders within this world that we have. But in order to get there, we have to take a few baby steps first.
Well, absolutely. I appreciate the explanation. Just curious to pick your brain, just, speculate a little bit. Would there ever be a possibility of like investing in certain artists, maybe like through like a somewhat of a CPS system on Coda, like where a group of us can get together and support artists, that maybe just need some funding to get ahead in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So there's going to be a creators fund kind of mechanism that's built within the DAO as well. And another thing that I've been kind of dreaming of is to be able to make index funds that are backed by different genres of music. So like think about how cool it could be to invest in 90s rock and roll or something. If you think in the future it's going to come back, what if you could buy into that somehow? But in order to do that, we need to tokenize all of these different things onto our platform first, and then we go from there. So that's the plan.
Gotcha. Thanks, man. And then finally, just had a question for Arosh. I mean, he's been doing such an amazing job with Ohms, the monks, and I just want to get some of his insight. What he sees for the future of Icon. I sometimes, we have to stay away from the speculation and stuff like that. But I just want to get his, like, how he sees everything playing out, and hopefully Digital Dave can come in after that and see, how things can play out. I know that some of our founders can't really talk about that sometimes, but it'd be great just to get some insight from what they see happening in the industry with us, with Icon and stuff like that.
Thanks for your question, Danny. Well, I mean, I got into Icon last year, mainly as an investor, because I was looking for a interoperability solution, and Icon came up, and I was just blown away in terms of the professional team, because obviously before I invested in Icon, I just messaged Scott and asked him a few questions about Icon, what it is. My main focus was how decentralized is it, and I didn't want to invest in something before getting the questions. He was very accommodative. He was answering all the questions. The main thing was how decentralized it is. And just the tech behind the interoperability really got me hooked on it. I knew at that time interoperability was some way forward, and now today with Icon 2.0, it's a reality, and I'm just excited for the future in terms of BTP, what it offers in terms of interoperability, and the fact that it kind of is advancement in terms of a bridge. It's more diverse, it's more immersive, and obviously it's trustless, and that's a key word. And really, I think once the marketing gets out there in terms of especially with the Ethereum, and once those ecosystems, Luna and everyone else gets wind of the potential of BTP, I think it's only up, so to speak. I think a lot of people talk about bear and bull markets, but if interoperability is the way forward, I know Mark Zuckerberg also spoke a few days ago on the importance of interoperability in the metaverse. So I don't really see a bear and bull market for Icon. The fundamentals are there, and that's bullish in itself, because we've seen Link, we've seen Aave really pull forward in a bear market. So
we have
I'm really
seen
bullish.
that, sure.
I'm really bullish on Icon.
Jeez, you just won Donnie's heart by saying Link.
I mean, personally, I'll speak freely when I say this, that at some point I want to earn all the fees from. I want to see Balance becoming, a better version of Uniswap, and I've already seen that happening already, and just being a better money market, if you will, and just be able to just have these Lego stacks, if you will, as you call it, and just having the opportunity to arbitrage at a fraction of a cost on ETH right now, without having to go with a layer 2. I think that's extremely important. That's our selling point. I wish we spoke more about that, to be honest with you, as in my opinion, because that's what it is. That's what BTP is going to bring to us, and we're going to be able to access assets on Kusama and Polkadot and Moonriver, and be able to take place, participate in, not directly but indirectly, with all these parachains on Polkadot and now Algorand. I have a very vivid imagination, if you will. So you could imagine, all these assets being traded on balance, and then we're gonna receive our fees in balance token, and that's SICX. I can see all right, I'm not with Brian, owning some balance is going to be really, really key to just having access to all those fees, and then being on Ohm and having access to that. So yeah, I do get excited for the ecosystem. I do invest in interoperability. I make general calls. I don't want to. Today's Icon's launch, so it's all Icon. But the reason I'm invested in Icon and heavily is because Icon is making a play on the entire system and not trying to make a faction, if you will, or a nation state. It's you can always win by working together versus making, one is better than the other, if you will, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. Sorry. Go ahead, Arish.
So I know because I know whether you guys are aware. There's a popular figure called Squish. He did a thesis on Ethereum, going to $100,000 in 2023. And I asked him a question in his he did the AMA a couple of days ago, and I asked him a question, in terms of because Plan B and a few people are talking about a massive crash and things like that, and he also alluded to the importance of interoperability, and which I found was great. And everyone, all the Iconic people know interoperability is key, but they just don't know about Icon yet. So once that gets going, it's going to be big.
Yeah,
all
I
right,
think
Dave, it's your time to shine. Digital, if you're still here, I'm sorry, I know I cut him off before.
That's okay. I was just thinking about my expectations of Icon 2.0 and what we may expect in the next couple of weeks in a more practical manner. I think BTP will launch in about 2 weeks, which is our next thing to get excited about and work forward and to be talking about with other people within our community, but also in other communities. And with regards to, as a community, marketing ourselves outward, from today onwards, it gets easy. We no longer have to hype up little insignificant updates. We no longer have to treat small news as big news because it's finally happening. So it's going to become so much easier to spread the word of Icon's interoperability because of the use cases that are going to arise. And to quote Davey Darko on the last Monks Academy session, he said, collaboration between blockchains breaks down the blockchain tribalism that communities generally feel. So everyone's very attached to their coin and aren't really looking outward to see what other projects are doing. But once you can collaborate and you can create value for another blockchain as well as your own, that's when the walls come down and people start talking with each other and everyone gets excited. And it's happening right now because Icon 2.0 is just being confirmed. BTP is a couple of weeks away. So what we can now do is back up the ICX talk with straight up UX interfaces, including, the names of other blockchains. We can back it up with use cases to come regarding ICE that will launch with utility. We've got so much to show for it now, and we've got a marketing team in place at the foundation who is actively working on putting out information and content. It's easy. All we do is just do what we were already doing, and I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. The next 2 to 4 to 8 weeks, we're going to have a great time, and I think that's my thoughts on what Icon 2.0 is bringing on the short term.
Agree. I think the speaker's name. Sorry, everyone. A few people who have been saying giveaway. I think one more giveaway. Thank you for being sticking on this late. How are we? 3 hours in. Now, what should we give away, guys?
Give him something good. Give him a double giveaway.
Does my sound better?
Give away everything at once. Just be like, hey,
You get a car. You get a car.
Look, if you're still here after all this time, you are Icon community, and you should be rewarded.
Does my microphone work better now?
Oh, dude, you're back. Welcome.
Okay. We still have a handful of tap to give out also.
I know. Okay, how about let's do 5,000 tap.
Do it.
Okay. What's the comp, people? Come on, community. If it's the community, let's get some community love. Think of something and let's do it. How can we bring the masses to Icon Bet by giving away 5,000 tap?
I mean, Texas Hold'em, and
Oh, it's coming.
challenging ETH and the Kusama community, and then Moon River and Polka Dot and Algorand. You imagine having like a BTP based poker tournament, if you will.
I think it's on the cards, man. I love it. Let's guys. Okay, just put in your favorite Icon Bet DApp that you like. One of your most favorite games that is currently on Icon Bet. Put it in the chat with your address, and we'll pick a winner shortly as we continue the conversation. Tap that. Gold.
Fez, have you ever thought
come back to
about?
what you're saying.
I have a question for you, Fez. Have you ever thought about like a multi-chain airdrop? You know what I mean, where you have to in order to receive the airdrop, you have to try each other's, protocols, if you will. Have you ever thought about would that be beneficial, non-beneficial? Now that we're working with Near, and that's a new DEX that comes out, and Balance, and now there's gasoline finance as well coming out on Icon as well. Would that be beneficial or non-beneficial? What do you think?
Well, I think OM did that with, I think it was Aave and Compound. I can't remember. I know it's Aave, but I can't remember the other one. And I'm curious, I'm curious how that went, if they felt it was, I don't think I've seen them talk about it, or if it's even possible to tell, but how well that kind of went, at least as far as they're concerned. Like if they felt that it brought in new users, or if they felt that whoever got it just ended up dumping it because they didn't, they were more loyal to Aave than they were necessarily to OM or something like that. That would be like that's at least one piece that we have in existence, but I haven't asked them or bugged them about how they felt that went.
Feel that. When I get an airdrop from any other ecosystem, the first thing I do is I dump it and I buy ICX.
Right.
Yeah,
there's one data point.
I mean, that's what I did with Avalanche when I got that one. Uniswap, I sold it I sold half, and then I kept half, and so that worked out okay. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like nowadays it's like Ethereum is taking a big market share, if you will. But I guess my question was, how can we make it where we make the incentives for the other protocols to use our protocols and vice versa, if you will, in order to get the airdrop? It's not just free money. Here, you get the token and just dump.
I think, look, a few things here. That's where BTP, I guess, will enable a little bit of that. Once more chains, for example, I use Wormhole, right? And what was cool about Wormhole was I could just bridge between the three chains quite quickly. So even if I had it on Binance, I could bridge between the other chain, etc. Now, when they look at BTP will pretty much launch with all these extra chains. And one thing TJ mentioned today, which was an aha moment for me. So at the moment, Donnie, we're probably thinking there's only so much Balance and OM tokens can be distributed to new liquidity that these platforms may attract. But one thing he mentioned was, well, with CPS, once it fills up and say it's not being used, one of the things that could be voted on is the CPS funding be used to lure liquidity off BTP partners' chains to Balance, OM, or other protocols on Icon. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the governance token. It can actually be CPS funding that incentivizes moving, those various chains' assets. So I think that should just cause a gradual shift of people going, okay, there's a substantial amount of thing on Icon, let me go and check it out. And I think people in the other ecosystems are more likely to venture away rather than ETH. And what I'm getting at is, like, if you look at Ohm, yes, the airdrop was actually cool, but I reckon what really happened was Iconist went and capitalized on that opportunity by just quickly exploring how they could get the Ohm, not actually, or people who have dabbled in ETH DeFi within the Icon ecosystem went and, capitalized on that. I don't know how much it brought across from the ETH ecosystem to Icon, but the idea was great. It was sound. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think a lot of the Ethereum addresses, I think they limited to 5,000 addresses, 5,000 claims. And yeah, I subscribe to that. Probably most of it was Icon. Icon is being in ETH and just claiming that. Yeah.
But that's fine. But I guess to Donnie, your point, it's still not luring. But I think with BTP, like, yeah, it will happen, especially if. Look, honestly, I come back to this. For me, we'll see a mass migration of assets when collateral types get added on balanced and a couple of tweaks in the balanced operation mechanisms. But essentially, once you can mint your stable coin that you can lift its demand for, so hopefully with Ohm and something in the outside ecosystem, all of a sudden you enable ETH you can lock up ETH and mint and earn some balance rewards, but also mint at no interest compared to putting it in Maker and paying 6% interest and various other places and paying interest. You get a one-time fee. You all of a sudden got all this liquidity and you can go and do what you want. It'll automatically bring across liquidity and hopefully with it users, because that's where they are, right? They're on Ethereum and all of a sudden they have a new way to use their asset. So I really believe that's what will bring a lot of new people into the Icon ecosystem once we get those assets, the utility of those assets in our ecosystem working.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Shall we do I think, Brian, do you want to run the decider and pick? I can't see the chat anymore. It's just, oh, here we go. Okay, guys, I think what we'll do, is there anything else, Digital Dave, Donnie, you guys want to talk about? I think even I'm spent, guys. Yes, I'm sleepy. See, I really am. I'm starting to feel it now. I don't know. Brian's vanished. Oh, he's actually dropped off. Okay. Cool. So I need to pick a winner and... Oh, wait, there's a question. Yeah, when my Icon wallet will be back? Oh,
I think they're still there's a couple little kinks they're working out. I saw Nim mention something in the Discord about they have to update their SSL certificates. So I imagine it should be any time now. It seems like everything's like 98% normal, but there's just a couple little hiccups here and there. So I think he said especially for users in Europe. So should be good to go here any minute or very soon.
Cool. Peter, so a question. No, I've taken today off. I anticipated this running longer, so can you imagine? I'll just be asleep at my desk. Cool. Iconographer, do you want to do the honors of picking a winner?
Yeah, sure. Let's see.
Ooh, Bearish Bull. Oh, we should have had you on here doing some charts. I could have shown you some of my nifty new charts.
So I randomly selected Sudeep Bhandari. What is their favorite? Which is the original game, if I recall correctly. We have their wallet address, so congratulations to them. 5,000 tap for them.
Cool, and you've noted his address.
Yep.
Excellent. Done. Okay. Great. Any closing words, everyone? I think let's wrap this up. Thank you for all the love for the show. I'm glad.
I got some closing words for you, Fez. Thanks
Yeah.
for doing this, man. Like, I feel like you're the only person, and you and Iconographer, to get everyone together. I mean, I feel as if we should have, a town hall like this once every 6 months, if you will, just to put people's minds at ease, if you will, and you managed to get everyone on together. Usually we see like Ricky by himself or Min and Scott, but it's just great to see the entire community. And just speaking out loud for myself, like, it's easy for me to hold or hodl ICX because I see what you're doing, Iconographer, Digital Dave. I see all the, I'm quietly in the background. I mean, I'm obviously following, like, everyone in the chat room that I built is like smarter than me. So I always, like, I'm in the background just reading. I'm like, I never know how to add my opinion to that, but it's just like, it's easy for me because I see this vibrant, lively, fluid community that has, like, some of the smartest people in the space, and it's not just like vaporware, if you will. So I just want to say thank you for all the hard work you're doing. Thank you, Iconographer. Thank you to Scott, Brian, the whole, like, I Am Asset team, Geodude. I mean, I don't want to list people because I'm gonna miss everyone, and then I don't want someone to get mad at me, but, like, basically everyone in the Icon community, I just want to say thank you for being you. Thank you for, like, sticking to your guns, if you will. I don't think we're wrong in this, I'll say that, and I just want to say thank you, Fez, for doing this, man. You're a rock star.
Well, look, thanks, Donnie. Appreciate it. I do want to give a call out to first the community. Like, it was really important. I kind of in the Telegram groups and stuff made it a point. Really need everyone to rally, support, and you really did. Everyone did. And on the other side of it, I want to call out Elise. You all met her today. She has. I hound her like 100 times a day with ideas or things that I feel, things should be done, or things like that. So, and with this event, she was in the background as well, constantly. We were going back and forth, planning things and arranging things, and she got everyone to get into this donating, from a sponsorship perspective. But she's done a lot of hard work getting everyone in the foundation across as well. So, and this is the impact of, I guess, what we're starting to see, where the right people in the right roles. We've got marketing representatives there, and they have that focus. They want to enable the community, and that's what she has done for Ion Icon as well. So, and that's why we were able to have everyone on the show, which has been fantastic. So thank you, Elise. Thank you, everyone in the foundation, and thanks to the community for all the hard work, and Iconographer as well. Thanks for always being there and hosting, man.
Sure.
Cool. Okay, guys, let's call it. I know there's one more giveaway, but I don't have it in me. We'll save it. Oh, you guys.
Well, we've also, as a little bit of tease, we had some initial conversations about doing a launch party for BTP as well. So maybe we'll roll over some of the giveaways we have for that, or something like that. But no guarantees yet. But just leave you with a little bit of that. And ideally, it won't be at 1:30 in the morning Fez's time next time.
Yes. It'll be 2:30. No. Cool. Thanks, everyone. Well, let's call it. I think it was a very successful event. I really appreciate everyone tuning in. Take care, everyone.
Yeah.
Take care, Fizz. Take care. Thanks for organizing. Great job.
Bye all. Bye.